Hello, hello. Welcome to another stream. Here to do more chill stuff. I'm gonna say that every time. It's gonna be chill, pretty much anytime working with Lego. Nothing too strenuous, but we're gonna keep it fun. Try to keep you guys a little bit entertained and engaged, etc. Today, I got the F1 still unopened, or to open up, and play around with those new parts. And there's a lot of funky new molds they made for that, just that. But I also got the Sonic sets to deconstruct, sorted out, get some parts out for the probably more Exoforce MOCs, if anything. Otherwise, just more parts. More parts is more parts, you know? And put the figures away. Add to the collection. Last time, drew up, built the two sets, and decided to mock it up and merge the two. Because if a superpowered echidna needs a mech, then that superpowered echidna's mech needs a mech of its own. So that's what I came up with. Hopefully we'll get some photos of that soon. At least post it up. Make sure he can carry the Chaos Emerald on his back too. The Grand Emerald, Master Emerald. And I'll just take this silly man out. Also made Tails a tiny mech. It's almost nothing. It was the last three pieces that I couldn't use on the big one. So that's all he got. But now for the fun part. More parts for me. And just some brainless deconstructing. We'll do a little bit of sorting too. Seeing how time goes, we'll see if there is time for maybe some studio stuff. I got that up and running. Have that switch to the camera there. But we shall see. One thing at a time, one thing at a time. Slowly let everybody filter in up until then. Hello, hello. Doing some deconstructing of the Sonic sets. Getting parts for future MOCs. See where these parts take us. Hello, Unlimited MOCs. Always glad to see you. I feel like we just keep gassing each other up, but that works, you know? Hopefully we'll just become better builders that way. Probably get around to a little bit of part experimentation today, see what we can do with some F1 parts. A lot of new molds from that. Should be fun. Yeah. Yep. So I might as well start off with answering your question from earlier. The Spider-Man CMF is on its way out. We got full images. And around Instagram, we are all posting our own, what are our top threes. And I believe, okay, so my three, I had Spider-Bite on there. She was there because, yeah, the opalescent and arms and legs, they're pretty, I feel like they're a little more generic than some of the other spider prints throughout the theme. So those could be useful. But overall, I think it's a very cool design. Not your typical spider person. Then I had the sun spider. The one has a disability. I chose that one. One, the parts are nice, and it's cool to see new colors for the baseball cap and the crutches. But I've also heard the backstory behind that design, and it was one of the several fan-submitted designs for the movie that made it in, which is very cool. It helped reflect some more people in the world, and I do think that inclusivity is very necessary in this day and age. But also the spider stuff is also kind of muted on that character, so I thought that was pretty well done design-wise. And then last but not least, my pick was also the web slinger, the cowboy one. I just think that's funny. Like, it's so ridiculous, it's fun. I'm happy they also got the horse into the CMF. I know they used the full mold instead of the baby horse mold instead of the full horse mold. But I figured that's the only way they were going to get into a CMF. So those were my 3 picks. They were, I think overall I've mentioned that the series as a whole is pretty weak, just for the fact that the only incentive is that if you're a Spider-Man fan, you want to get one of each. And then if you got multiples, then it's not super useful. Whereas even if I got, say, a collectible minifig, I don't even care about the animal costume ones, but if you had like an army of those, you could do some silly stuff. The animals, yes, I agree. Unlimited MOCs, the animals feel useless with the printing on them. But that's how I feel again about the figures themselves. There's there's the cat as well. There's the horse and the cat. And on their own, yeah, those are going to be extremely useless. But it's just something we gotta deal with. It's just too specific. Luckily, we have gotten those molds before without the printing. Unfortunately, the horse was only in one CMF, and I can't remember where this fluffier cat was from. I think it was the recent cat person. I don't know if they used it outside of that. But it was still fun to see them included. They absolutely did not have to do that, because the figure on its own, it presents well. And at least the cowboy one comes with the poncho, and just, overall they always have new printing, but you are looking out for their new hair pieces. Yes, I keep coming across different images for the theme coming out, or the wave, and it showcases that there are a lot of spare heads and hair pieces, which is fantastic. Like, I kept seeing the Spider-Punk as his base form, which that alone is cool because he has the metal colored mohawk. But then I eventually came across the images of him without the headpiece, and he has the larger, puffier hair. I think is new. It might be a reuse, but it's definitely a standout. And then Miguel and several others had hair pieces. Oh, Spider India. Spider India was almost one of my favorites. He has some good stuff going with him. But he's another character that, yeah, he comes with the cat. But even without the cat, he would have been a great CMF Fig. Yes, I would have loved to use the Mohawk somehow, but I have no idea what it's useful for. Well, luckily, in that silver color, it could definitely be like... I mean, I feel like if you can get multiples of that, that could be good for Mad Max detailing. You have that kind of wrapped around maybe the front bumper or fenders for just spikes. I think that'll be super useful. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be landlocked to the CMF, and it's going to be incredibly hard to get hands on. But that's what I get worried about for a lot of these parts. I was happy to see that with the F1 minis, we already have maybe 2 sets that came out with the curved bars that are used for the halos. And so that makes me glad it's just kind of in the natural rotation. But things like I said, the black crutches, I'm not sure if we'll ever see those again. And that Mohawk, I don't think it'll ever come back. Maybe as the mold, but I don't think in silver. Yes, LEGO did use the bent bars in sets. I believe it is in the Battle Droid Stap. And I know for a fact it was used in the, oh, what is it? Not the Wharf, it's a Italian Riviera. They used 2 in black, maybe there's more than 2, but they used it for one of the railings on the building for the balcony. So that makes me very excited. It's going to show up on Pick a Brick someday. Probably pretty expensive because it's a very specialized mold, but just being able to get more of them out there will be super useful. Because that's one of the reasons I bought the F1 minis, is just to get multiples of some of these new parts. And I tried to hold back because a lot of the minifigs like to go on sale. I'm just never around when like the D&D stuff went down to a couple bucks. So hopefully I can grab more F1 minis when there's still leftover stock and they're just trying to get stuff out of store shelves. Having had them in hand, do you think they're useful? It just looked like another version of the hot dog piece or a big motorbike handle. Honestly, I have not opened anything up that has them yet, so I have not used them myself, but in theory, they will be situational and very useful. Because the hot dog, you are locked into those curved angles, and this gives you two parallel bars. So I can see that being very useful. And then compared to the motorcycle one, the smaller one, completely different. It's set 2 angles. But if you're talking about the larger motorcycle bar that has the 2 that extend the same way it does, you won't have to deal with the top connection only having like a semi-clip, and the bottom bar sticking out, giving an extra position that you might not want. So I can see them being super useful. It's just going to be case by case, because yeah, the hot dog and the handlebar can already cover a lot of bases. But there's, like I said, there's a few that it will cover on its own. Because yeah, if you try to clip to that curved part on the handlebar, it doesn't like to clip all the way. So this will be a nice way to just cover that. feel like Lego makes a lot of special pieces. It feels like it would only be good for very specific problems. I'd love to see some more new brackets or hinges. I'm on the similar boat. Colors are definitely an issue, that they lock up so much behind certain colors. But then, yeah, too many specialized molds does become a problem, and comparable to other companies that people don't like. But they all make tons of molds. Yeah, I think to me it's more so producing not enough in said color. Like, they might produce a mold in, say, reddish brown and release it in one set, and then you never see it again for the next 15 years, maybe forever. So they made a really hard to get piece for one color, and they're constantly doing that nowadays. So, but yes, I do see I feel like they need to expand some of these part types, because without, say, the Bionicle system, you're very limited on which of these you can use, these ball joint bricks and whatnot. There's only a handful of the remains of Bionicle, like the hand joints. I think they got rid of the Hero Factory ones that have the molded fingers, things like that. Those are catalogs that could definitely expand. Mixel joints, maybe. I feel like Mixel joints is already pretty good. I think the one they're missing is a socket that connects to a bar or pin, because we have the ball joint ones. There's one that connects to a pin, one connects to an axle, and then there is now the bar shaped one, but there's no inverse of that for the sockets. So I feel like that's one they really need to work on, is some more sockets for the ball joints. When I went to a presentation in Chicago, I thought I'd check it out. There's stuff on mechs, and the fella talking there disagrees with, or does not like the Mixels, or he doesn't like to use them in mass. Supposedly they are prone to breaking, but I've never seen it. So maybe it's with time, maybe. But I feel like if they do break, it's not like any of the sockets are hard to come by. So easy replacements for broken pieces. I mean, it still sucks for a piece to break on you, but if it's something you already have a couple thousand of, or hundreds, it's probably no real harm to you. They're super sturdy, you feel like. Yeah, for the Mixel joints. I think it's just age and how bricks over time can get a bit crusty if they're let out too long. It's probably just that, and then that on top of the fact that you're putting pressure when you pull them in and out of the socket. I think that's what breaks. I've had one of the ball joints themselves break because the bar in between the ball joint and the studs, that it's a little thin and you might put too much pressure on it, but that's, again, very case by case. Not something you're going to commonly see with those. I mean, the guy was also talking about, most of his discussion was about larger mechs. So you definitely don't want to use Mixel joints for something that needs to hold a lot of weight. And I kind of understood where he was coming at. On topic, Mixel joints are some of the pieces that seriously need more colors. Yes. It is one of the reasons why I keep looking back at those third-party sites that do the molds in different colors. I still haven't done it. I don't really want to do it, but I look at their sites and it's like, man, They make so many different colors for mixel joints. It sucks that we have, say, the 1x2 plate with ball joint on both sides, only in black. Black is the only color it comes in. Which, I mean, it's good that it's a nice darker neutral color, but that's like the majority of the mixel system, is they're all black and grayscale. I'm surprised we still don't even have like white yet for any of the joints. But yeah, more colors, definitely. I'm happy to see with the bulb on bar has a few colors now. It started with dark gray, then they added the transparent green as like a secondary one, and then eventually they did the orange, and now that we do have black. At least they're not some weird color. 100%. If we were forced to use weird colors and they had to show every time through little gaps, they'd be unusable for anything that wants to look good. It would just be horrendous Lego locking us into colors that don't fit anything. I feel like there's a few pieces out there that are like that. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Probably like certain Technic pieces. Oh, yeah, there we go. Technic pins. Yes, that's a great one. Luckily, that's being fixed a bit. I do like the frictionless ones in gunmetal gray. I think those are incredibly useful for something. Yeah, it's not tan or white. I don't know if we have friction ones in different colors yet. It took them a little bit to add the red half pin, or switch over from red half pins to giving us dark gray as more of a common one. That took them a little too long, but now it's a staple, and the dark gray ones are so much more useful. What? You only saw them in light bluish gray? They're in gunmetal gray now too? Yes, they are. It's fantastic. I need to buy a ton more, because I feel like they're only common through Pick-a-Brick right now. They may have only been in a couple sets, but being in a darker shade, a darker neutral shade of all things, it's night and day compared to the tans. And yeah, they did bring back light gray. I did like that. But I think another one that's poorly locked to one color, or two colors, is the Too Long Axle. Is only in red and black nowadays. I would love if they brought back the white one, but having only two colors for that is another sucky one. I guess another Technic-ish part to bring up is like I said, the Bionicle joint. We used to get tons of colors all the time. Now it's dark gray. I don't know if black is in rotation right now, but I did see that we're getting dark blue soon. So that is something over just the dark gray. At least one color of the colors are neutral with the pins. Yeah, I think nowadays all of them are. Trying to think. Like even the slight one additional every once in a while is great. For the longest time, the Flickfire missiles, I think those are super useful because they had the bar connection. But Flickfire missiles were light gray for the longest time, and they eventually added red in the last couple of years. Still don't know how super useful it is in red, but it's nice to have at least an option. Yeah, there's definitely some other more specialized pieces that are just lacking color variety. Is it a set full? Is it a full set of F1s? No, I just bought 8 at random. Didn't even use the scanner. Didn't use anything else. I just bought 8 online, and we're gonna test my luck. I would love to get the one that is based on the test team or the training team, because it has a lot of nice like purples and pinks and stuff in it. That's just weird. I think it's also the only one to have I think it's one of the ones that has a unique colored halo. But I just love how bright and colorful it was. But I'm happy with like most any of the ones, whatever I get. Because I mean, they all come with the exact same car chassis piece, which I think will be great for any larger mechanical greebling. The helmets are pretty fantastic because they're non-branded on the minis, so they're going to be much more useful. I do have 2 of the larger F1 sets, the Patronus and one other. I'll get around to those eventually one day. And that was the same case of I just bought those for the new parts, because there's a lot of new parts across the whole wave. Everything nowadays is more or less just a parts pack. Good or bad. I was thinking about buying them, but with the August sets coming out, there were priorities. Yes. Yep, I haven't picked up anything from the August release yet. I'll probably hold off just a little bit to see if any sales float around. Try to pick up what I can from that, and then buy the rest just directly from LEGO. I don't need the hype of buying everything day one. They'll at least be on the shelves for a year. I know they're really trimming down how long sets are on the shelves, but I know there's at least some time. Like I will pick up every single one-piece set. But yeah, take your time with the F1s, at least in my area. The collectible minifigures will quite often, near their tail end, will go steeply on sale, like half off. And that's a great time to buy just a bunch of figs for parts and whatnot. I have never capitalized on that, but I know it's an option if I'm ever in the right place at the right time. And with the F1s, I feel like whatever one you pick up, it'll be good parts. And especially nowadays, you can just use the scanner, even when it's like the ones people don't want. You can scan and find the ones that might be more useful to you. Because I know with like, yeah, the D&D, by the end, you couldn't find the Paladin anywhere. That was just one of those ones that was super scavenged up. I have a feeling I will get one or get all. I'm super bad at going a midway. But I haven't sat down and looked at this piece list yet to find out which ones I should get. Yeah, there's a few with unique colored halos. I think those are some of the bigger draws. There's I think there's a red halo, a green halo. Black is the most common. I think there's a gray one too. And then there's the purple one. But I think the purple and the green are only in one set each, or one figure each. So it's gonna come down to that. Also, it comes down to which prints you might prefer, because there are printed pieces, and some of those will be more useful than others, coming down to whether they have the branding on them or not. Because I'm looking at the box right now, and the Mercedes one has the Mercedes logo dead center, so that's not going to be the most useful piece. Also the wheels. The wheels are a good thing to look at. That's a piece that made me happy. That piece used to only come in gray and black, I believe. And they eventually released a red one, and now we have all these new colors like the turquoise, yellow, pinks. That wheel piece in multiple colors is so nice. Oh yeah, same goes for the CMF, but I meant Speed Champions versions. Oh yeah, which ones to get? Because they did an excellent job where they tried to make each individual set a unique build style. So that way, if you're building all 10 back to back, it feels different. So because of that, they also have different parts included. The Red Bull one really interested me, mostly because of the color scheme, but I feel like there's a lot of fun things you can do. Nathan, my shoes are untied. Oh no. I believe you because I'm not wearing them. I better go tie them though. That's something I shouldn't leave on like the oven. Thank you for stopping by. You got me, yeah. You're my hero. I would have completely forgot my shoes were untied if it weren't for you. I need to keep better track of that stuff. Thanks for the little gag. And thanks for stopping by. These streams are always just going to be chill, random Lego stuff. Hopefully more MOC stuff down the line. I got Studio set up on a different camera if I ever want to do stuff on there too. Thought about surprising a builder named Zakar Ion. He wants to do Studio and instructions, but he doesn't have time for it. And I'm like, maybe someday I should surprise him and just try to reverse engineer based on his photos. Maybe live on stream, recreate his MOC, and then send him the instructions for free. I don't know people's birthdays, but that maybe a birthday present. I don't know. But he's done so much for the community. He has a lot of contests, so it'll be a fun way to give back. Yeah, I need to quickly do this so I can get to those F1s, because new parts, experimentation. So much can be done. So much that probably won't get done because I'll be slow to think about it. I do this every time. I see the issue now. I keep putting the chats on the far screen. I don't learn my lesson. I need to move them closer so I can actually see the chat sometime. Which I'll move. You're being pretty chatty on Twitch, so I'll move that one closer. Which is great. It's helping me a lot. Okay. There we go. PG! Welcome! Thank you for the support on Twitch. Surprise out of nowhere. Just doing some more breakdowns and sorting. Hopefully getting around to some new parts and experimentation. Chill stream as always. Trying to think if these Sonic sets had anything noteworthy of parts. I mean, it had the printed pieces for the knuckles, like, I don't know, rocket launchers or control panel. That might be my favorite piece I got out of this. I mean, it's just a print, but still. Twitch one up. Or the stream setup going. There we go. Other than that, I mean, the more modern stud shooter triggers, or stud shooters, didn't really have those before this. I guess there were some new parts, but I already stole from these sets. Trying to make some of the Exoforce mechs coming out, or I'll be posting in September. Still a bit further off. Oh, I guess it's my first time getting these Disney Princess gemstone pieces as the Master Emerald. I don't know if I'll integrate in a MOC or do something with my Sonic stuff, but it definitely requires some experimentation. It looks to be bar sized on the bottom. I was uncertain about that, but that also inspires me to experiment with some friends' pieces because that's their leg connection. Huh. The sparkly. Let's see. PG, hello. I see you pivoted over. I felt like, or I still feel like, that the Twitch layout is a little more comfortable. Everything's got a bit more room to breathe. And I guess it's my primary use, but I'm still doing stuff on Instagram because of the majority of my audience is over there. So I want to not completely disconnect myself from people I might know. Yeah, you're more used to Twitch. I don't know about you, but I am not a phone user, so it's a lot more comfortable on Twitch for me to do anything. Also, Instagram hates PC users, so that really sucks. It makes everything so much more difficult. I've seen you live on Instagram. Yes. Yeah, it's the best way for me to communicate I'm actually doing something with my time. Because I think a lot of people that use Twitch will use things like Twitter to announce they're going live and things like that. I started a Twitter. I almost never use it though. I really should try to make announcements there again, but it's whatever. It's another lame social media. What are you gonna do? I'm also always up for more suggestions, whether that be changes to the stream or new things to do on the stream. I wrote down a ton of things I could do, but we will see, just like everything else, one step at a time. Oh, I guess I don't know if I had these pieces yet. The traffic lights in the darker pink color. And I don't know about anyone else, I lose track of the names of like all the pinks and blues. There's just so many of those colors that I don't track it. Maybe that one's dark magenta or something along those lines. You still have to work on your main body still. Yeah, get those improvements down. But you gotta wait for, or hopefully your hand's healing up quickly for that. Or maybe you're gonna start building one-handed. That way you don't slow down. Still do what you can. But yeah, colors. Some of these colors, there's so many different shades and everything that it's hard to track all that. And then there's also the naming differences from Lego themselves, Bricklink, and any other site. I'm yet to meet a Lego fan that can name all blue colors. I think I know one, but that's because they intentionally made a chart that is three-dimensional, that is sorted by hue and saturation and every other thing about color. So the heights change and the positioning change left and right. And it's all the colors they could find from Lego's history, all on one board. And I'm sure they know everything by heart at this point, the way they've worked on it. All the Lego color. All of them. Yeah. Good luck finding a piece in the rust. I think there's like 4 out there and most of them were Duplo. Things like that. So that's always a great question to bring up. If Lego could introduce a new color, what would you bring? What would you have, or make them bring back? For me, I think sand red is something we're lacking. Something desaturated in the red category. I would also say sand purple, except yeah, sand red, unlimited, you get it. I would also say sand purple, but I think several of the pinks are close enough that we don't need sand purple anymore. But sand red is just, there's not really anything quite like it in Lego's catalog right now. I do remember they did the poll a little while back of like what colors we wanted to see. And I felt like I was heard, but it was kind of in the wrong direction. That my color I requested was something new in the yellow category. And unfortunately, I did not expect them to introduce the vibrancy of neon yellow, which is just so obnoxiously loud, it is very difficult to use. But hey, I'm glad they added a new yellow. And a new orange isn't too far off either, so reddish orange, I'm not mad about. Reddish orange actually is kind of useful, but it's just still new, so it's not super common. But it makes me question if they're willing to do new colors again, then why not bring back some of the more popular or more useful ones? Neon yellow makes sense that it is a brighter color, and they definitely want to stick in more that direction for Lego as a toy. They want it to be more playful colors. But then the dark orange is contradictory to that because or the reddish orange is contradictory because it's a nice, more subtle color. They're very loud. I'm guessing you would like more faded looking colors. Yes. I'm glad we still have sand blue, sand green, but they feel a little isolated for their color typing. But I do think, oh, you're fine about spelling. I figured it out eventually. I do think there are points where it might be going too far. Like, I would not want them to actually bring back very light gray. That was around for a good several years, and I guarantee you the average person cannot tell the difference between that and regular light gray. It's still a cool color, but it is not one we really need in the catalog. I understand probably for Star Wars fans, very light gray would work better for a lot of the ships, but I think we just gotta stick to 2 types of grays. They're pretty versatile as is. New colors to gap existing colors like new, medium tan, and umber. Yes, I haven't quite kept up because there's so many skin colors now, but that's great. That's great for diversity and making sure that your character is accurate to what the person or being might look like. And I especially like that they are now slowly but steadily rolling out the flesh tone colors as standard bricks. That way you can do something like a larger character, like they did Dobby not too long ago. And then we saw all that flesh tone in standard bricks on the hotel. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but the modular. So they have a lot to go, but we also don't want them hitting that bubble that they hit in the early 2000s where there were too many colors and it kept hard for them to keep track of themselves. They're definitely in a comfortable position. They could add more colors, but I also want them to pace themselves because like we talked earlier, you have all these colors now, but they're not going to make every mold in every color, and stuff's going to get awkwardly rare just for being colored once and then never releasing again. It'll just be hard to modify it with it being the core. Yeah, you might have to, for that mech, you might have to really deconstruct it and start over. Or break it down to find somewhere better you can replace maybe one piece with another to lock it all together. Because if you don't dig too deep, you might still just be surface level and not quite get the stability that you're looking for. I'm indecisive. I kind of want to put the gems away, but I also kind of want to put them in the Master Emerald. Do I have one more green? So then I'd have 7 Chaos Emeralds. Oh, I do. Although I'd have to look at the Green Hill Zone set. I remember it had 7 different colored emeralds. So I might do that someday. I don't know. I was certainly thoroughly charmed by the Sonic sets, especially not building sets in so long. But it really does just it lacks so much in comparison to MOC building. We've hit another level because it's 2 ball joints, partly side by side. Yes, yeah, they're the joints are all too closely clustered. Probably lock those in with some plates, but I'd have to take a much closer look to give you solid advice. That's on me for just kind of throwing stuff at you. I don't know about anyone else, but sometimes I drop pieces on the floor. I take a couple quick looks and I can't find it. And I'm like, well, maybe one day I'll find it and I'll just leave it there. It's not worth the effort to find for now. So it's just like, that's too much energy. Unless it's like a piece I have a couple of, and I know I need it back because otherwise I can't build with it. And then I'll search for like 2 hours and not find anything. Oh, goody goody, all these 1x1 bricks with the axle holes in them. Those are nice. See, and then yeah, you get a piece like that, and they release it in a bunch of colors right away. Oh, Gears is another one. Gears is another one they don't like making into a bunch of colors. Which is obnoxious because it doesn't really hurt it if they made different colored gears. Or maybe I just need to buy more Technic sets. Since Technic can be hard to come by no matter how you acquire it. Image for later. Yes, I will try to give you some tips, maybe some pointers, and see what I can think up myself. Try to help you out. Hell, that'd be a great thing to do on streams. Just trying to problem solve. Whatever people got. But yes, dream color to come back would be sand red. I do watch a fella named Cheesy Studios. There's a lot of Minecraft stuff, or Lego Minecraft stuff. And building Lego Minecraft to scale in the game, or to the game, is extremely difficult to get everything like block accurate, perfectly square. So that's impressive, but I know he is a super fan for sand red. A little bit of sand purple too. He pretty much buys up any sand purple he can get his hands on, but the molds are so awkward I haven't seen him do anything with it quite yet. There are definitely some builders that have made it work, but to get back on topic, Cheesy, he loves himself some sand red. And I'm really happy to see that he's been able to properly apply that to his Minecraft builds. And every time I see that stuff, I'm just like, I just really want Lego to bring it back. Every single time. Just a constant reminder of what could be. But I guess anything's possible. We did see, I mean, they brought back turquoise after it being gone for 12 plus years. That was from the Great Purge of Colors. So. Anything's possible, but they are a corporation, so will they ever care to, is the question. Because yeah, if they keep adding colors, then will they keep up with it? Because as of right now, I have looked at the entire library of parts that are available in dark or reddish orange. And it's just so few that it's been hard to plan out MOCs, even if I order a bunch of the ones I don't have. You can find something just finding the right math. Yes, I'm super happy that a lot of Lego math has been exploding recently. People love using the sugar grade technique now. And there's plenty of other things that have just been growing in popularity. Even LEGO themselves have been a lot more flexible and comfortable adding some of these mathematical techniques that people found ahead of time. Such as that the boutique hotel is built at an angle. They love using a lot more snot to lock things in place. So I'm really happy that it definitely helps that a lot of the newer set designers are people that have been building MOCs for years. So they already have all this knowledge going into the job. And that's why we're starting to see a lot better designs and techniques in sets. Or like how the creator theme is popping off with its animal builds. Studs and went on side connections. So all connecting. Yeah. Just constantly locking things into place now. Which is super great for the fact that now you don't have to rely on Technic to lock things in. Not only provides for less space taken up, but allows you somewhere to attach even more and add even more detail. So the fact that snot bricks have really exploded in the last decade, it's changed everything. You sent what it looked like. Yes, I will definitely need to take a look at that a little after the stream. Today will definitely be a longer one. I know you joined in kind of near the tail end of the Thursday one. I think Thursdays will always be somewhat shorter. And I definitely have more energy for Sunday ones. But yeah, I apologize. Like, it kind of looks like I left shortly after you appeared. But this time I will be sticking around. Ooh. Yeah, if I set up the cameras better, I could pull up the image on one page, display it on stream, and try to work it out with you. But I guess that's a goal for another day. I don't know if the mic's picking up, but this drawer is so full I keep putting pieces in and they keep falling out immediately. Definitely a challenge I gotta take up to try to make MOCs just going off the full drawers to get them a little more empty. Definitely would be a fun challenge. Definitely a question I'll probably keep bringing up is the third camera. I'm wondering if it would be better used as like a dedicated close-up cam for when I want to show things off, instead of trying to like get really close to the face cam one. I just don't know if this area is actually doing much. I mean, it's a dynamic angle, but it kind of helps when there's stuff on the table, but I guess we'll play around with that. Yeah, just timing. Yeah, it felt awkward to me, and like, oh, you just showed up, and you're the first person so far that I've met through Twitch first, and then on Instagram. So I greatly appreciate that. It kept me motivated to go that evening. And it does make me feel like the Twitch side will pay off and work out. Because like I said, the majority of my audience is Instagram. It's not massive, but it's where most people know me. Which to me is a real shame, because I love Flickr, but it really is just a dead platform. To me, it functions so much better than Instagram or anything else. And you get cleaner presentation for your photos. But there's just about no one on there anymore. And I have been trying to keep up with whatever's going on with other socials, but it's hard to care enough until something becomes a little more solid, like whatever Blue Sky is doing. Or some of those other ones that are trying to dethrone things like Twitter. I don't know. That's social media. I should probably just not bother talking about that. Ooh. Also greatly appreciate you two asking questions and comments. Keeps the conversation flowing. Things to do. And I know I'm barely on screen right now with the sorting, so hopefully I'll get through this quickly. Kind of a ghost of a streamer right now. Like someone probably pops in and is like, oh, nothing's happening. So, camera positions might be something to work on. I definitely want to get around to building stuff on stream, MOC side. But I have so many things that I'm trying to wrap up that are just like, I want to be a proper surprise. So I can't show anything yet. But hopefully as I stream more and more, I'll get more comfortable with being like, yeah, whatever. You can see something that won't be revealed for another 8 months. I just haven't gotten acquainted to kind of bouncing back and forth, getting feedback from others. A lot of it was like self-judgment feedback. And that's how a lot of my MOCs are built at the moment. Which, as far as I can tell, hasn't been terrible. But will there be building in the stream, or does it end after the unboxing? No, I will probably unbox, and then I'll probably do some experimenting. And then after that, there will definitely be time for either physical MOC building, or I did have some stuff planned we could do in studio, depending on how we're all feeling at that point. I can let you two decide if anyone else joins in, but there's definitely gonna be more after the unboxing. Definitely. Is something wrong? Audio go weird? But yeah, I can guarantee there will be more. There will be more going on. Oh, it's an excited Oh. I don't know if I hear anyone use it excitedly. I can see that. Maybe it needs an exclamation point. But then that might be you're a little scared. I don't know. I blame English. It really is a messy language. So I don't blame you. Ooh, there you go. Some energy going, yeah. To be fair, half the time I text something to somebody through any platform, I'm not sure how it's going to come out. Because I understand, like, that's why they added emojis, is to convey emotion. It still doesn't work perfectly, but it's definitely better than reading a flat message and completely misinterpreting it. And then all that's derailed by anyone that wants to use sarcasm. And I really hope nothing I send in message comes out as sarcasm. I'm never trying to use sarcasm when messaging. I saw one of these on Thursday's stream. Yeah, bot that's kind of advertised. Do a quick ban. There we go. I think it's only on my side, but it's still obnoxious. I'm not surprised. I'm sure. I mean, Twitch is just as vulnerable as any other website. Just random bots flying in, trying to make money. I just find it funny when it happens on like my stream because I'm a nobody. But hey, maybe they think I'm the most gullible. Math is hard sometimes. Yeah, I excelled as a mathematician in high school and college, but afterwards I've kind of I haven't had to really exercise it much, so now my math brain's a little mush. And I definitely struggle with some of this stuff now. All that training, and then I stopped training, so now there's nothing there anymore. Oh. But yeah, I know Lego math gets real confusing when trying to do angles or just any of the fractions in between. I know my snot basics. Get my, was it considered 2 5s? 2 plates wide is the same as 5 plates tall. All that jazz. I can do that pretty simply, but I'm really struggling with trying to do a lot of triangle math nowadays. Half of the times I make a great Lego connection with Lego math, I blame it on luck. Yeah, that's how it feels sometimes. It's just, I mean, it looks right. We didn't prove if it's correct, but it works, so we're just not gonna bother, not gonna fill it with it. Just gonna call it good. Let it sit. But yeah, if it fits fine, just roll with it. There's no reason not to. And again, you don't have to prove that math because we're not the ones that have to make the legal connections. So. I know I made a connection this morning, or earlier today, where I don't think Lego would ever use it. It's technically legal by their standards, but because the clip can slide on the nozzle bar, it can move to a spot where it is being expanded more, and that wouldn't be good for it. and there's no way to keep it from sliding up and down to do that, prevent that. But it worked. See, that's where like a close-up camera would be good. I could try to demonstrate that. You just gotta take my word, and I hope you know what parts I'm talking about. So definitely one of the obnoxious things is the face camera is in an all right position when I'm sitting, but then if I start walking to the other side of the room, you lose me. However, if I wanted the screens to be set up better, it would be rotated the other way, and you'd see even less of that side. So there's a delicate balance to figure out with these cameras. I thought this was all pretty good positioning, but clearly there's stuff that can be done better. It is hard to show the entirety of the workspace. Like I've mentioned in some of the other streams, there is plenty behind the cameras no one can see. All the pick-a-brick cups on the wall. So, I feel like I've gotten some of these somewhere. The 6 wide brackets, maybe I don't. But if I do have them somewhere, I have no idea where they are, because they were just so weird and I had so little of them. So I don't know if I have those and where they might be. It's just it might be a new piece, it might not. And I don't know when I'll ever use them. I've definitely seen myself struggle recently. Like, I keep trying to use larger pieces, and by the time I get further along in the MOC, those larger pieces are getting in the way in one spot or another. So then I substitute them out for a couple of smaller pieces that take up the same space. Say I use a 1x4 snot brick, and the only ones being utilized are the outer two, and then things start colliding, and I just swap it out for 2 1x1s on the edges. I've been doing that a lot recently, so it's been hard to use larger pieces when I'm trying to use them up and get them out of my collection. I feel like these are going to be those same type of bricks. Like, I have a sister brick that I have a bag full I have not used yet, of the one that's about half the height, 6 studs wide, and it's got a backer of 2x6. So I guess I'll put them with that bag for now. Similar feeling. Got some nice Hero Factory wings. Glad some things are still in production. It's annoying how many molds they made for themes like Bionicle, Hero Factory, Chima, and then they're just all dead. All their molds. Trying to collect a joint to the side to connect to a snot part is fun. Yeah. You might have to redirect that angle. Math on math. Yep. Let's see. Although I was saying about all these molds that were added and then discontinued, it's obnoxious, but it has also been fun for me in the last year or two to try to remake those molds, but out of modern pieces. Try to accomplish the same thing. with whatever we have on hand. Yeah, the Master Emerald can stay with the Sonic Figs, along with the Tails prints. I think I will leave the Knuckle print out because that. Yeah, APAC Kappa. Yeah, that feels right. I've not seen that one, but yeah, that feels right. Whatever's going on. Audio fine, maybe. I say it probably bugged out there for a moment because I pulled up my Instagram stream, but it was from like the third person, so I couldn't actually monitor it. Seems fine. Okay. Some weird hiccup. I'm just gonna double check a couple more things. This one just might not go up on Instagram, but I guess this is the benefit of me saving the recording afterwards through Twitch. But I am only doing the YouTube thing so I can, weird buffers. I'm only doing the YouTube thing so I can review the videos myself and keep it stored somewhere, since I don't want to keep the data on my end. But if everything's running fine, we'll get along with the F1 minis. And I actually bought 2 from a Bricklink seller to know exactly what I got, and just to have a couple extra for parts. They are, it just says F1 car. So I'll start with these, just so I can start playing around with the parts, and then we'll do the blind box stuff to see how lucky I am. Stream being a little jank today. That's not fun. And I have no idea what it cost it. I know it did that, was it Thursday stream? They kind of split the Twitch one in half too. I wonder if it's a timing thing. But then again, I did the test stream last week, and no issues came up with that. Somehow made a connection that looks like a 1x6. Oh. Okay. I mean, but it's a 1x5. Oh, so it's just kind of like jumpered in between. Interesting. Things getting off. Yeah, it's just kind of in between. Okay. Weird. Okay. Does it say? I don't think it says the brand names. It's just a picture of all of them. Okay. Maybe this is generic F1. At least that's what it looks like on the one print. This gray one. I think that's why I got this one, is because there's a lot of gray and silver. So it should have very usable parts. Plus the helmets are real neat. I'll put those up in just a second. Yeah, not molded silver, but it's printed. It's printed silver. I will definitely, I'm gonna get a plate out so I can lay those all down on it. There we go. Everyone's favorite plate. So this is also doubled, but here is the prints I was talking about. They are printed in silver on top. And now these 4 on one side are very generic, and then the other 4, which are curves, and the middle ones are tiles, all 1x2s. The 2 and 2s are both printed with the F1 logo on it, but the 4 are generic, so those should be really fun to play around with and add details to. They got a little bit of red striping, and then they got kind of a grill near the top. So those, yeah, those are what we're looking for. And now this is going to be an unboxing, but I don't know if I'm going to actually build any of these since I bought them just for parts. The struggle will be finding uses for something that you can still see the F1 logo. It might be a filler piece that hides the, or that's just using it for the tile and for things to slide. We'll see. And then I'll show off the helmet for this one. Is a black with red visor and silver print. And once again, these are all the mini ones are unbranded. So these helmets are going to be fairly useful. And then it also comes with this piece. This is another new, I don't know if it's a new piece or if this was in the Minecraft line, but it is a 1x2 tile with a neck bracket in the middle for a minifigure head to lock it in place. So it may have been in Minecraft, I'm not sure. It reminds me a lot of, I remember the Enderman body. It's kind of like that, but it has a lot more going on. I guess another piece I can show off are the wheels I was talking about. So these are still red. Those are already common. But all the wheels are printed. So that can add for some extra cool details. I feel like most of the prints are pretty generic. I know there's one that has, is it the Windows logo with the red, blue, green, yellow? It did come in white with the Iron Golem. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was a Minecraft piece, but it's nice that, I don't know, they're in these little cheap $5 sets that are a little more common. And the tires, we got the hot dogs with extensions. Those are new. And then the wing pieces. The wing pieces are really nice. Definitely added for mechanical greebling. I will definitely do tests later to see what the angle measurements are. It's very shallow, very, very shallow. So I don't know if it'll match any currently existing wedge. And then it looks like all these come with some cheese slopes, a bunch of 1x1s, a bunch of different types of 1x1s. 1x1 plates, 1x1 curved tiles, the clip for the halo. And then, as you mentioned earlier in the stream, they all come with the white frictionless Technic pins, half axle, half pin. So I don't think I had a lot of those, but I know I'm gonna get a lot from these. So there's that. Apologies if anyone is on Instagram. I cannot see chat. It's kind of been bugging out. All right, first one, right off the bat, we got it. We got the one I was looking for. I guess today is my lucky day. Very first one was the only one I was looking for. So we got some pinks. We got some purples. Oh, it comes with a purple. This is a purple hot dog with extra extensions. That's nice. That's gonna be nice. Oh, also, since you haven't seen the extensions yet, they do have mini peg holes. So in theory, you could combine these with the hot dogs and extend the weird curviness. Oh, and I failed to show it off just yet, but they all come with these awkward bodies. But they have a ton of snot connections, axle holes, and even bar holes off the top and bottom of the studs. So I feel like there's a lot that can be done with that. So this funky one comes with magenta for the wheels, magenta for the fin, has a 1x2 tile that says Academy on it, F1 Academy. That'll be our not so useful print. And then for our, oh, actually the front print does not have branding on it, so a little more useful. I'll keep showing these off the best of my ability. These are the 4 prints. The 3 purple ones are curved and the tile is the magenta one. The magenta one is the tile. But the 3 are generic, which is super nice. They just have some of the lighter blue to match. And the singular one almost looks like Spider-Gwen colors, just without the white. So I'll probably keep all the generic ones together and the branded ones separate. And then of course there's going to be plenty of tires between all these. Ooh, the Inkwell piece in purple. I don't think I have that yet. That's a nice one to get. Strangely enough, this one came with 2 and the other ones only came with 1 each. I wonder if that Brickling Solar took out all the spares. Rude if so. And it looks like all the neck brackets are in black. Which makes sense. Alright, we got some purples. Purple 1x. Oh, I also fixed it between the last stream and this stream that the camera is facing the same way I'm looking. So that way if I'm like pointing up or down, we're all looking the same way. I don't know why I had it the other way around, but it's better now. Hopefully for a better viewing experience. Ooh. Okay. We got red with white. HASS or HAAS? HAAS, jeez. Haas. I do not watch any F1. I don't know the teams that well. I just like cool new Lego parts. And this one has white print on top of black, so that does not show up too well. And this one did not come with a 4th print. No, it did. I already moved it. So it looks like you get 4 prints per, and 2 are always going to be generic. Oh, this, I think the print looks to be the same on all the wheels. It just comes down to the base. But this wheel definitely looks much better than the other ones. It is white with the black print. And almost kind of gives a Tron vibe. Really liking that one. I think that's the best so far. And the most generic could definitely be like an eye of a robot. And then yeah, every set comes with a white minifigure head. I don't know if there's anywhere you can look up the history of the minifig head, but I found it always so odd and jarring that they kept switching the mold. It looks identical every time you look at it, but there's the original one with like the filled in stud. Then they did the one with the divot and the 3 holes. Then they went to the divot with no holes. And I think now we're on this one that is divot with 2 holes. So they keep changing it. The hole one makes, all the hole ones make the most sense because it's for if a small child is choking on it, they need to be able to still be able to breathe. But it was weird for a time. They went back to no holes, I don't know. They were very indecisive with the minifig head. Ooh. Must be Aston Martin, I believe is the green one. With the yellow wheels. Those look like they could be very useful. Or just very fun colors to play with. Comes with a black hot dog. Green with yellow visor and black print. I got a black fin. The Aston Martin logo is pretty darn small on there. So that might be able to get away with being kind of generic. Oh, but the tile just blatantly says Aston Martin. So a trade-off, I suppose. Bunch of greens. Some inkwells. And if you don't have a lot of them already, each of these come with 2 of these studs with bars on the bottom. Semi-newer piece, getting a little more common, but each one comes with 2, so it's a nice piece to get more of. And yeah, these brighter colors with the black print on the wheels is definitely much better, but just in general, even turning it around, these wheels have not come in these colors before, so all new stuff, all great stuff. So far, so good. No repeats. So I'm definitely getting a variety out of this. I guess I spoke too soon. This one is technically a repeat, but that's because I bought the other ones ahead of time, knowing what they were. But hey, more silver print. That's nice to see. Of course, all these race teams had to have such grounded colors that we got a black helmet with red visor. We couldn't get black with yellow for Blacktron. At least none of the ones so far have matched any like space faction. The inkwell piece is interesting in the set because sometimes it comes in 2, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's just used for the headrest. But it is weird that sometimes it comes as a spare. Yeah, it is just, there's just 1 per set. But I've gotten 2 for most of them. Just not every time. Oh, I had to speak about repeats, and now there's nothing but. This is our 5th one. 5 out of 8. I got 2 from the randoms and 2 from the pre-purchases that are all the same now. But like I said before, more silver. A lot of red wheels though. Not sure what I'm gonna do with all those. I guess I could stack them and make them look like barrels, smaller red barrels with the ribbing. Saw some folks do that with the larger old wheels, the ones that had the studs on the sides. I guess on the bright side, I'm getting a lot of these gray fins, so that will be fun to work with. Just a very pleasant shape for a custom mold. I guess on the bright side, I'm getting a lot of these gray fins, so that will be fun to work with. Yeah, I mean, the Instagram still says it's running. Again, if you're watching on Instagram, apologies. I cannot see chat. You're welcome to jump on over on Twitch, though. I can see that chat just fine. All right, well, now I'm hitting the point of nothing but repeats. And they're all the same one, too, so. Yeah. This is the gamble. This is why, yeah. Unlimited, I do not recommend buying these now if you can find them on sale later. Or buy them from a vendor that sells them where you already know which one you're getting. I'm also not sure how available and how cheap the parts will sell individually. I know with a lot of collectible minifigs, very few people actually sell individual parts. But because there are so many bricks and other weird facets in this, I have a feeling these will start being parted out. At least a little more than standard CMF. All right, 2 more. Oh, okay. This is a repeat. I'm not mad about or disappointed. It's more colorful pinks. Ooh. I guess it would have been nice to get the teal one. The Red Bull one doesn't look too fun, unfortunately. And just like you, I do not know all the other colors off the top of my head. So I don't know which ones the rare ones are. I guess, like I said, there's that green hot dog. Haven't seen that yet. But now I have 2 purples, so. The black one is the one that's in the official Lego set. So that's a color we'll see down the line. But uncertain about all these other colors. All right, and 1 more to go. I mean, I knew I was getting myself into buying a bunch of these, just seeing random stuff. Any ideas for usage of the bumper parts? Well, no, it's definitely more mechanical and sci-fi Greeble. I'm trying to think of anything that could be useful for fantasy or real world. And it's definitely a struggle. I believe it only has the one connection point on top and bottom for studs. I'll take a look here again. There was a build I was working on the other day off stream that I thought it might be useful for, but now that I see it has a few extra ridges, it definitely wouldn't have fit. I got this last bit of pieces out from McLaren, and I'll start showcasing those and all the different colors I got so far. But yeah, it's definitely one to think over. The bumper, in theory, could be really fun, really useful. I was really hoping the front was a bar connection. It looked like it from an angle, but it's not. Oh, they also won't connect properly to this. I need an extra stud. Yeah, another fun color from McLaren. I got orange wheels. That should be probably interesting to try to use. Here's the 4 colors I got. They are pretty weirdly shaped. And like I said, only 2 connection points, being a stud on top and bottom. Not even like the right measurements for a clip to be forced onto the front or the sides. They look to be about 1.5 plate tall. So very interesting there. That might be a full plate. I don't know. We'll start experimenting here. I believe they're actually 4 studs wide, but there's a stud in the middle of all 4. So some weird maths. I suppose if you do multiple back to back, you can get a good design going. Let's try that out real quick, since I have all these gray ones. Seven bricks to use the wheel piece. Otherwise, I haven't seen people use these pieces in miles yet. Yeah, I definitely want to. That's why I've been like so eager to try to finally open these up on stream. Yeah, if you have a bunch of one color, they fit perfectly together. You can make some zigzaggy pattern. I guess I could do this, switch the middle one around. No, you'd have to play around with what looks like to be a half a plate difference. So I suppose if you did say every other being a standard 1x1 snot brick and every other being the like 2/3 tall snot brick that's round on backside. If you alternated between those, you could get a nice zigzag pattern. Their clearance is weird. Their clearance is definitely weird, because I'm pretty sure the wings on the side, they're about a plate, and I'd say roughly, it looks like half a plate. No, it's like 1.25 plates, which is another weird math to work with. It looks like weird NPU that would be used in the modular lineup. It definitely. Between this the car chassis, and definitely the helmet. I'm not sure if we'll ever see these again. But I'd love to see that. Yeah, I'd love to see the fin be reused for something. But I feel like all you really could use it for its greeble. It's not a very connection-prone piece. I'm not sure what this measurement is for the front and back flat part. The front's a little thinner than the back. So there's definitely a lot of weird stuff going on here, which means I definitely need to experiment a lot with these. Yeah, the side fins being a little larger than a plate means you can't even clip it. I definitely want to try something that's a little more loose, which is the ratcheting joints. I wonder if that could straddle around it. It cannot. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, it's very hard to work with. The sides, even though they zigzag back in, they're longer than a plate, so it doesn't quite line up with something else. But I'm definitely going to use these. Definitely going to start using these. I might have to buy a lot, honestly. And that brings me to, I kind of want to see what colors they all come in. So I'll take a quick peek at that. So the wing pieces in the front, they come in one in red, one in magenta, one in light bluish gray, one in bright green, and 8 in black. Yeah, there's 12 total. So there's 4 one-of-a-kinds, and I'm lucky I got a bunch of grays. And then I want to check the hot dog piece. 1 in white, 1 in purple, so those are the rare ones. 2 in dark blue, 3 in red, 7 in black. So I did not get the dark blue one. That's fine. So there's your rare colors on those. And then, like you said, yeah, the neck bracket, there's a bunch in white. Oh, the black was in Minecraft as well. It was used for the wither. Okay. Then yeah. White was used roughly 5 times, a bunch of times for those iron golem, once for the snow golem. I think that's it for interesting parts. The helmets I can't track because they're all different prints. Okay. Do the fins stack? I believe not, because like I said, the sides are a bit taller than a plate. Yeah, it's putting a lot of pressure where it doesn't want to stack properly. I will do my best to kind of force it and then show you. I can't even force it, honestly. It pushes it up higher than the stud itself. So I will try to hold these up as best I can. But if you can get them to stack, that would make for an excellent texture. You might space them out a little bit more or find another way to clip them in. But you can see when I push them together, there's still that gap between the studs. And it's just enough that there's 0 clutch power. It doesn't even like loosely sit on there. It pushes it too far away. What if I flip it? Flipping it works barely. It immediately fell off. So see them from the side. Yeah. it's not completely square, and it is a little bit higher than a plate. So that's what those look like. I think front to back, it's also bigger than a plate. No, front to back, it is the size of a plate. So that corner, it cuts that corner off. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you could figure out a way to stack them, they would look good for like even a ship vent, not just cyberpunk vent. Because it looks really cool. It looks really cool stacked together. I showed you the back side to show the stud connection better, but from the front side, that'll look excellent if someone can figure that out. The problem is you want them to be as close together as possible so that the top and bottom line up, the side fins. But then I have no idea how you connect them. Because yeah, the thickness of the front and back of the bar, of like the bar segment itself, the back is thicker, the front is thinner. And it doesn't even look like it's half a plate. I'll pull out a bracket and look. Oh yeah, the back is like a nanometer. It's barely bigger than a bracket. Okay, but the front looks like it's bracket size, so maybe there's a way to clip that in. There's one piece I can think of that might work. And that is the base of a handle. The front is too loose. The back is snug. Okay. So this might be what I start playing around with these pieces. Yeah, you can do something like this. You can get the handle bases to clip to the back. So I can definitely see like a micro spaceship using this for thrusters. Or just a different angle for the connection. So there's uses. There's uses. It's just, it's going to be awkward. But those are my favorite parts. So the OMG, is that what that one's called? Is that one the OMG emoji? Oh, yeah, the shock expression. It's like, is it a robot? It looks like a robot, which lacks emotion. I'd have to look up my experimentation with the stud shooter trigger, because the back one being thicker makes it actually the same thickness as the stud shooter on the fin side. So if I have other uses from the stud shooter trigger that holds that section, then they would work with this. It has a sister piece. Incredible. The stud shooter trigger, not the fin. Yeah, that is the exact same measurement. We found one. The OMG is my reaction. Okay, not the emoji name. Yeah, I was able to highlight it, and it's just the, what is it? The colon O for like a shocked mouth. Yeah, it's the sides that throw me off on this fin, because they're just slightly bigger than a plate. They're a little too big for anything. They bring up a new measurement, which intrigues me further. Yeah, even next to a T-slope, they're too small, but next to a plate, they're too big. Hot dog pieces, though. Yeah, I see these being incredibly useful. Having the connection come out perpendicular to the hot dog and to parallel to each other. That is going to make for some fun stuff. I'll probably even start using these neck brackets. I know they're not brand new, but they'll definitely be a lot more useful for stronger connections that, say, you might only use a single jumper to hold something and then pushed into a brick with only one stud connection, it'll be quite strong. Gonna do a quick, will definitely be a lot more useful for a quick Instagram check. Say you might only use a single jumper. I think it just mentioned that people joined. It doesn't show me if chat was active at all. Oh well. That's a problem for another day. So yeah, this is definitely a very intriguing piece. There's a gap in the front too. Is it big enough for a bar? It is not. So that gap might be completely useless. And yeah, you can't force a clip anywhere aside from the back where there's a normal plate. I suppose that might be a way to stagger them with vents, but hard to say. Let me give it a shot here. And I'm mostly just experimenting with the parts in front of me right now. I need to start getting some others in the mix here. Ooh, yeah, this could be a fun one to use. Or a great one to use. It not only gets that vent look, but it staggers them ever so slightly where the slopes in the front line up. So let me get a couple more of these going, and then I'll show it. So yeah, forcing a clip connection in the back of the plate. They're all now kind of angled downwards. But from the front, you get that vent grill look. And from the side, you'll see that their slopes all line up now. So there's definitely ways to do it. There's a slight gap on both sides, but definitely as close to the theory we were talking about. I might leave that together. It looks really cool, honestly. So we're on the board. We're on the board for finding some stuff out on this. But like you said, you only saw people using the wheels. I should definitely get a build posted up quickly here. Seeing what I can do with some of these parts. The bar, I am presuming, is 3 studs away. It is. So it perfectly lines up with the center of 3 stud. Kind of makes me think of like an old-fashioned drawer handle, the way it connects. And then these chassis, I'm glad they're not super specialized. I mean, they are, but they aren't. Or super specific. There's enough connection points on these that you could definitely do a lot with them. And it looks like, yeah, the snot is exactly 1 plate off. Not sure what the height is it's a bracket though. Bracket drooping down. And then it's got a round front. You can angle pieces. Now unfortunately it has axle holes, but I can clearly see in there's a stopper, so you can't put a bar all the way through. Yeah. Once you get that in there, it'll only go 1 brick in. Curse you, Lego, for putting stoppers in your axle holes. That's why the Bionicle likes the old hand joints better. You throw a bar all the way through. Ooh. like how these look. Maybe as a leg for a mech. What does the Dark Panther look like for his legs? Oh, Shadow Panther. Right. The problem with designing a Shadow Panther MOC is that I've always looked at the images and it looks three-legged, the way it's posed. But I know it's not. I know it has 4 legs. Just some additional random stuff. Yeah, let me start playing around with these. I think I have some ideas going. Definitely getting a little more kind of bat vibes from the arms being down. But I'm thinking of using the chassis as legs, like some front forward legs on a quadruped mech. I'm liking how that's kind of shaping out, and it's got that nice curve at the base thanks to the tail end of the car chassis. You say it's pretty cool, but this is just some early spitballs here. I know a lot of the Exoforce people are expecting a lot from my Shadow Panther now, because I keep mentioning it in one way or another. But it's going to take a while because I got some special plans for it, and I need to gather up a lot of parts for that. But yeah, now that I have 10 of these car chassis, I got to really figure out what they could be used for. Honestly, it makes me think of just that oval shaping on the underneath. Makes me think of some of the Bionicle thighs. It all comes back to Bionicle and Exoforce. I need to reference other things. You just finished a mile, so you can finally rest. Is it a new upload coming out? I was gonna say you posted your Joust builds, and those were insane. Like, even without the editing, the roof tiling was fantastic on the one, and I haven't looked at the other 3 quite closely yet because they were smaller on that one image. But if you got more cooking up, I say there's multiple rounds of joust, right? And that's probably what you're working on. I say there's so many Lego competitions. I lose track of a few of them, and Joust is definitely one I don't fully track. I know BioCup ended recently, and that always has insane builds because Bionicle people are forced to get very creative with what few parts are left from their system. I'm going to try building kind of like a glide suit with this magenta. That's the base. So yeah, I had Bricklink Studio kind of planned as the third act, or third thing to do, and now I'm distracted because there's fun new parts to experiment with. You're doing the truck from Furiosa. Still have both 2 tankers left. There's a lot left to work on. Is it the... Yeah, it's the escort truck. So I know you did Chris Hemsworth's truck with all the horns on it. Yeah, okay, the transport. The rig, yeah, the rig. I was struggling to remember what they called it. Started working with these magenta pieces, and it's already starting to feel a bit too much like that alien I built not too long ago. You did one already, but it feels like it was really lacking. So you're remaking it. And the real thing has millions of features. So the first time making play features. Oh, yeah. Play features are super fun to toy around with. I'm excited what you find out. Manual steering. Insert cool emoji here. Manual steering, so is that not is that independent steering where like the wheels, because normally steering you'll have them kind of tilt like this. Are you talking about independent steering where they kind of pivot on their own? I guess manual steering, maybe. Are you saying like this? The steering wheel can actually control it? That's because that's pretty cool. Oh, from a gear. Oh, yes. Okay, so just like I forget what that's called in play features, but yeah, where you do it from a distance, and then it feels a little more believable. That's yeah. That's gonna be cool once you start adding that. Now the trick is gonna be making sure you still savor all your great details. Because once you start adding play features and stuff, you're gonna start losing space to integrate things. It's extremely compact. Okay, that's good. Just kind of playing around here with the parts. And I'm not sure where this device is going. But, I mean, it's starting to look cool. I use those front wings like we talked about. Kind of put them at an angle using a standard hot dog piece. And I got one wheel used so far for a thruster at the bottom. Kind of want to do a couple thruster arms as well. Just some funky glider going on here. Let's see. I can use one of these 45-degree angle bars. I think I'll switch the helmet to black so it fits a little better. Yeah. And then maybe a red minifigure head to help that red really glow. Well, maybe the white's good enough. Nah. Because the problem with these helmets, you can see all the colors bleeding from the bottom. Still very cool. Well, thank you. I'm just throwing my shit. Seeing what sticks. Let's add some flames. Really tell the story of it flying away. Can't wait till I accidentally bump one of these drawers on camera and parts go flying everywhere. And I just make a big fool of myself. It's bound to happen at some point. Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of glider. This way. Rocket thrusters on all sides. Hope it never happens. Well, all we can do is hope. I don't know, that might be just it. I don't know if there's anything else to add to it. Trying to use what parts I can. Probably take a single photo of it. Oh, actually, what if I could add more of these tires? Try to give it kind of some tubey arms. The tire's too thick to fit the bar through. The angled bar clashes with it too much. It does help that these sets already had their color schemes, so I didn't really have to work too hard on getting colors that worked well. Plus it's black. Black works with anything. Well, I have a really dumb idea, but I think it'll look cool, so we're going to build this one a little further. With the thanks of a overly useful neck bracket, if I can find one. I know I've been running low on those. The single stud snot bracket before it was popularly the thing. Might as well just hold this on camera while I search. Instagram look for a bit. Oh, entertainingly lame, you joined. Single stud. I can briefly look at Instagram chat, but it's going to probably bring some weird audio dupes. I suppose I can leave it up for a moment and you guys can let me know if there's weird audio going on. Sorry I didn't catch you until just now, entertainingly lame. The Instagram site's been real funky today. Oh, entertainingly lame, you joined. But yeah, now that I've done some unboxing, I'm just seeing what we can do with the weird new parts. I can leave it up for a moment. You guys can let me know if there's weird audio going on. Sorry I didn't catch it just now. I hope you're doing quite well with your crunch time building. But yeah, now that I've done some unboxing, I'm just... Oh, you know what? If it is duplicating, I can at least muffle it a bit so I don't have to double hear it. There we go. I hope you're doing quite well. Because even if you guys can't hear it, I can, and it's driving me a little insane hearing myself regurgitate words a second time behind my back. Oh, you know what? If it is duplicating, I can at least muffle it a bit so I don't have to double hear it. There we go. Because even if you guys can't hear it, I can, and it's driving me a little insane here. May have missed entertainingly lame. Regurgitate words a second time. I'm sorry. Behind my back. Instagram's being poo-pooey again. All right. How do we like the car chassis silhouette? I'm sorry. in the background
being poo-pooey again.
of this weird glider pod. I keep playing around with whether I want higher up or lower down.
How do we like?
I think higher up is better.
Car chassis silhouette in the background.
A little lower down. It lines up with the shoulders a little bit better. I don't know. I do not know.
Playing around with whether I want higher up or lower.
But I do know I have plenty of connections that I can do a transparent stand later. Take some photos of this. Tell people what they missed on stream. Convince them to join the fun.
Lower down. It lines up with the shoulders a little bit better.
I don't know. I do not know. But I do know I have plenty of connections. You seriously need more magenta pieces. Watching this makes you realize it's a beautiful color. Yes, it's not too obnoxiously light for a pink. And it can definitely be pretty fun. I'd categorize it as the equivalent to turquoise, just for reds.
Seriously need more magenta pieces.
And it works wonders in that regard.
Yes, it's not too obnoxious.
I noticed that when they released the video sets, and I saw they were kind of cooking with those colors.
Can definitely be pretty fun.
Warm sunset, like
turquoise.
Oh, what is that called?
For reds.
Vaporwave. Kind of makes you think of vaporwave.
It works
that style.
in that regard.
I noticed that when they released the video sets, and I saw
they
it brings us back to color. Makes me think that
Warm
they
sunset,
could definitely do.
Like
They've definitely done quite well
vaporwave.
with the colors they have introduced.
Kind of makes you think of vaporwave. That style.
I think I'll leave that for now. I don't think there's much more to add to it.
Yeah, it brings us back to color. Makes me think that
At least for what I want to experiment
they
with.
could definitely do.
The
They've definitely done
kind of
quite
grill we
well
were working on earlier.
with the colors they have introduced.
Definitely want to use that for something larger. Just not sure what yet. And then it also brings me to question if I should use some of these for Table Scrap Tuesdays, just to throw the ideas out there. But yeah, still 7 card chassis. Don't know what I'm gonna do with those. See if the the figurehead bracket fits perfectly on the bottom. Nice and tug. Snug. Snug tug. These silver prints are definitely gonna be really cool to use.
7 card chassis.
I have a lot of the drum lacquered silver, well, a good amount, sitting around, and I'm not sure what to use those for yet. I think I'm gonna put these pins away because I don't think I'm gonna use those for anything
These
today.
Are definitely gonna be really cool to use.
But yeah, I have so much. I've been piling up a good amount of drum lacquered, and
Sitting around, and I'm not sure what to use those
the pearl gold's been a little more available now too. Some of that's been showing up on Pick-a-Brick
today.
for the equivalent price of a standard color, so I'm like, I'll buy them, sure. Start stocking out.
I have so much.
You're gonna eat something real quick. Will I be here in 20 to 30 minutes? Yes, I believe I'll probably be on for the next hour or so.
Pearl gold.
Still just experimenting, chilling, maybe doing some studio. We shall see. But I'll definitely be on for another good hour.
Equivalent price of a standard color, so I'm like, I'll buy it. Sure.
You're gonna eat something real quick. Will I be here in 20 to 30 minutes? Yes, I believe I'll probably be on for the next hour or so. Still just experimenting, chilling, maybe doing some studio. We shall see. But I'll definitely be on for another good hour. Okay, I'm gonna sort out some parts that I probably won't be using whatsoever. As nice it is to see some of these, they are kind of common. Okay, sort out some parts that probably won't be used whatsoever. As nice it is to see some of these, they are kind of common. Yep, hopefully I'll still be on when you get back. Enjoy a meal. Yep, hopefully I'll still be on when you get back. Enjoy a meal. So were these F1s a good investment? Yeah. Were they a wise investment? No. But buying 10 of them wasn't a huge deficit in my costs. Not compared to like how much I already spend on minifigures. That I probably shouldn't, but were they a wise investment? It's okay. It's all budgeted. No. It just takes away from MOCs. But as much as I know people will really want to see, it was a huge deficit in my costs. Not compared to like how much I already spend on minifigures. Oh. I mean, this makes sense. They're the same diameter. I don't know, I've never tried this, but this tire fits around a head. Move your head, just fine. As much as I know people will really want to see. Huh. I'd play around with that. Oh. Use it for a build sometime. Makes sense. They're the same diameter. I do now have this large bag of tires, or pretty full size bag of tires. And I don't know what to do with all these wheels now. Because we got the fun colors like white, yellow, orange, and magenta. Play around with that. Oh. Use it for a build sometime. But not sure. Not sure. Red is large bag of tires. Unfortunately, the most common I have. Full size bag of tires. But it already was one of the more common pieces of this type. I don't know what to do with all these wheels now. Although now looking at it, I do want to check. Is it the same as the original piece? It looks to me like it is different, but not sure. Not sure. Red is. Okay, yeah. So that's a discovery for me. But it already was. This is a new mold that they used for the wheels. The old one did not have a smooth side, and they made it smooth so that way they could do the printing. And then on the opposite side, the not so smooth has 8 spokes instead of 4. So that's a discovery for me. This is a new mold. So this is new to me. Don't know how well the camera will pick that up. The old one did not have a smooth side, and they made it smooth. And then the other side is smooth for the print, and not smooth for the other one. Has 8 spokes instead of 4. So I'm wrong. I am wrong. It's just a new mold. So that is unexpected to me. I'll have to update our friends on what's been changed. Smooth for the print and not smooth for the other one. So I'm wrong. I am wrong. It's just a new mold. That is unexpected to me. I'll have to update our friends on what's been changed. And unfortunately, I already had a pretty large supply of these inkwell pieces in red. So that gets dumped right into it. I think I also had a decent amount of white too, so Not the greatest colors, but the purple is new for me. And unfortunately, I already had a pretty large supply of. Now, if only I could get it in turquoise for an upcoming mock, so that gets dumped right into it. I think I also had a decent amount of white too, so not the greatest colors, but the purple. I think for all these prints, I'm gonna purple is new for me. Attach them to a plate so I can peruse them later, and not have to dig through drawers for them. Now, if only I could get it in turquoise for an upcoming mock, so that gets dumped right into it. I think I'm gonna need a bigger plate. I didn't bring a boat. I think for all these, but I do need a bigger plate. Attach them to a plate so I can. I hope peruse them later. 32 will be enough to hold it all, and not have to dig through drawers for them. If only I could get it in turquoise for an upcoming mock. Shoot, it might not even be enough just to hold the silver. I'm gonna need a bigger plate. I didn't bring a boat. I think for all these, but I do need a bigger plate. Attach them to a plate so I can. I hope peruse them later. 32 will be enough to hold it. Yeah, that. Not have to dig through drawers for them. That looks beautiful. Whatever I'm going to use it for. That looks beautiful. Shoot, it might not even be enough just to hold the silver. I'm going to need a bigger plate. I didn't bring a boat, but I do need a bigger plate. I hope 32 will be enough to hold it. Yeah, that. That looks beautiful. Whatever I'm going to use it for. That looks beautiful. Shoot, it might not even be enough just to hold the silver. It is still a little awkward. I can hear the echoes of my past playing behind me. Yeah, that. Nothing fully whatever I'm going to use it going through. That looks beautiful. It is still a little awkward. I can hear the echoes of my past playing behind me. Nothing fully going through. It is still a little awkward. I can hear the echoes of my past playing behind me. Let's see, what do I have left? 5, 10, probably 10. 2x6 will do it. All the branded tiles. Did the music cut off again? Let's see, what do I have left? Probably. Yep. There we go. Will do it. Okay. All the branded tiles. I suppose you can always hide branding by just kind of flipping it upside down. There we go. Using it in a way they didn't expect you to. Okay. But I feel like that's going to be really hard to do with the one that just bluntly says Aston Martin. I guess I could make a bunch of James Bond mocks. But all those prints. Black with dark red and silver trim. Got 4 of those helmets. I'm not sure what they might be useful for. I guess I could make a bunch of James Bond mocks. All those prints. Black with dark red. Yeah. That printing makes it very interesting. Like it. I'm not sure what it might be useful for. Gotta put some of these parts away. Yeah. That printing makes it very interesting. Yep, I will definitely be picking up more of these down the line. Don't know if I'm going to go the blind bag wrap again, or maybe order from Bricklink, knowing exactly which ones I'm going to get. But I also got to keep an eye out. Maybe there's a good sale. 60% off was fairly tempting for other minifigure series, but I just wasn't there at the right time. If you made it this far into the VOD, or hiding in the shadows, go ahead and message me what your favorite tree is. Fairly tempting for other minifigure series. All the true warriors out there. If you made it this far into the VOD, or hiding in the shadows, go ahead and message me what your favorite tree is. But yeah, also give me any ideas, advice, etc. of how I might be able to improve the stream, be a little more interactive and engaging. Just make it more of a fun time too. Anything like that. But yeah, also give me any. I want to make it as fun for you guys as it is for me, or educational. Sometimes it's just good to learn a few extra things. Interactive and engaging. Just make it more of a fun time too. Anything like that. I want to make it as fun for you guys as it is, or educational. Sometimes it's good to learn a few extra things. So we can get a shoulder mounted shield out of these for a mech. I think I got an idea. So we can get a shoulder mounted shield out of these for a mech. I got an idea. Oh, I have all my black bars out. Don't know what I'm looking for. Just meandering about for some greebles. There we go. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Metroid logo, but thought might be a good funky side armor paneling for a mech. Or like a wrist shield. That could be good. There you go. It's one of those things that are just fun to spin. Reminds me of it'd be great to use this kind of design for the little green mech from year 2 of Exo Force, but it's a bit small even for my shaping. Hold on to that. Another good one. It's one of those things that are just fun to spin. These head pieces, though, I am not certain what I will be doing with them. Use this kind of design for best just to keep them together and stack them. From year 2 of Exo Force, but it's a bit small even for my shaping. Curse you, Twitch, and whatever is going on that you made the stream split into two, and I gotta do extra editing later.
Head piece.
So I have a complete copy.
I am not certain what I will be doing with them. Best just to keep them together and stop them. Curse you, Twitch, and whatever's going on that you made the stream split into two, and I gotta do extra editing later. So I have a complete copy.
Rather than calling them the hot dog piece with extension, I might prefer calling them the staple piece. Definitely gives off staple vibes. Definitely feels like a staple to me. But holding in my hand, I think of
The hot dog piece.
a roll cage design
I might prefer calling them
using
the staple piece.
both kinds of hot dogs.
Definitely gives off staple vibes.
The faux par hot dog roll cage might play nicely into it.
Holding in my hand, I think of
A roll cage design
using
yeah,
both.
so they definitely have more utility in certain regards, and they'll definitely make for some fun shaping.
Hot dog roll cage. Might play nicely into it.
So we'll see where that takes us. It does make me sad that black was the most common and now I don't have any. That would have been very helpful
So they definitely have
with
more
this kind of roll cage design.
in certain regards. And they'll
Now it makes me
definitely
think of
fun shaping.
certain vehicle designs, they'd have glass
See
in
where that
there.
takes us?
I don't know if there's a transparent piece
It
that
does
would
make
fit
me
just
sad that
snugly
black was the most
enough.
common, now I don't have any.
But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to
Very
make
helpful
a couple of them
with this kind of roll cage design.
to maybe expand upon the idea.
Now it makes me think of certain vehicle designs, they'd have glass in there. I don't know if there's a transparent piece that would fit just snugly enough.
But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to make a couple of them to maybe expand upon the idea. Makes me wonder, is there a don't think Grand Titan had that curvy of armor plating. So I need to think of a different one. Definitely very much something I would like to use. I'm not sure where. Not sure where. It would look great for sci-fi windows, but it is a limited number I can use. Once again, if I had them in black, that'd make for
Definitely
very versatile color.
much something I would like to use. I'm not sure where.
Not sure where.
It would look great for sci-fi windows.
I have a white one. Yeah,
It is
that's
a limited number I can use.
it's all right. I only got one white,
And
so
if I had it in black,
can't quite
that'd make it
the full idea.
very versatile color.
But with the one red, not too bad. Not too bad. I'll probably leave those built. Another Greeble
Alright.
sitting around. Purple, I don't think they make purple hot dogs yet.
White.
Not yet. I might try with some green yellow. And then just leave all these together.
I'll probably leave those built. Another Greeble. Purple.
I know. The post. I might do a post that just showcases all these together for people that want ideas using the F1 vehicle parts. Had an idea for the fins, but I don't remember what it was. And now I'm down to 2 of them.
I know. Post, I'm gonna do a post that showcases all these together.
Yeah, I definitely want to use that as a mech Greeble
F1
at some point.
I had an idea for the things, but I don't know what it was. Now I'm down to 2 of them.
Okay. Those away.
Definitely want to use that as a mech Greeble
Now we got these car bodies.
at some point.
Let's do this. Stack them and put them away. Okay, this is gonna really want to break. Hold on, can I do that? Oh, there we go.
Those away.
Now we got these car bodies. Let's do this. Stack them and put them away. Not sure
Okay, this is gonna
where funky pieces like these
really
should
wanna
go.
break.
But luckily, I just have
That? Oh, there we go.
a big, ugly drawer full of big, awkward parts. So it gets to live there for now until I figure out something else.
Not sure.
And these wheels,
They're funky pieces like these.
now that I know they're different,
But
well, I think there's too many
I
to
just
fit in
a
the
big
drawer the other
ugly
ones are in.
drawer full of big awkward parts.
But I think now
So it gets to live there for now.
I will just put them in a bag. Keep them separated.
Something else. And these wheels, now that I know they're different, well, I think there's too many to fit in the drawer the other ones are in.
Not sure what Greebles I want to do with those yet.
But I think now
Oh, I guess I can look them up. Since they all have the exact
will
same
just put 'em in
print,
a bag.
they might show up as the same catalog on Bricklink. And I can see what other colors they come in. We got red, white, orange, and magenta.
Not sure what Greebles
Oh,
I
and
wanna
yellow.
do with
We
those
got
yet.
yellow too.
Oh, I guess I can look them up. Since they all have the exact same print, they might
So-
show up as the same catalog on Bricklink.
Take a look at
see
what
what
these
other colors.
wheels come in.
We got red, white, orange, and magenta.
Blue, bright green, dark pink,
Oh, and yellow.
turquoise. Okay. Yeah, I knew I wanted the turquoise ones for... Oh, Mercedes. Mercedes has them. I think that's the only color I'd want. Maybe bright green. Bright green does look fun,
Bright green,
but
dark pink.
I don't see myself using
turquoise.
dark pink
Okay.
or blue.
Yeah, I knew I wanted the turquoise ones for Mercedes.
But if you do get dark pink or blue, you get the other one. They're both in the same set. It's the only one that's split.
Maybe
Huh.
bright green does look fun. But I don't see myself using dark pink.
Yeah, so maybe the dark turquoise ones would be great to have.
But if you
But unfortunately, those have not been acquired. Welcome back. Welcome back.
split.
I did a little bit more experimentation on the small end, and I've been slowly putting some parts away. I was looking up what other colors the wheels come in, and they do come in dark turquoise, which would be a great color to have,
But unfortunately, those have not been acquired.
especially pairing up with that
Welcome back.
magenta we
Welcome
talked
back.
about earlier. Oh, I also looked closer at
A
them,
little bit more
and they are a new mold.
on the small end.
To my surprise, they are a new mold.
And then slowly but
I thought they were the same as the old wheel, but it turns out the old wheel doesn't have the smooth side, and on the other side, they went from 4 spokes to 8. So it is slightly different. It just takes up the same space.
Especially kind of that magenta we talked about earlier. Oh, I also looked closer at them, and they are a new mold. To my surprise, they are a new mold.
So I learned a little.
I thought they were the same as the old wheel, but it turns out the old wheel doesn't have the smooth side.
Yeah, it's misleading at first because it's the exact same size. It fits with the same tires.
So it is
But
slightly
no, I
different.
forgot. The old ones don't have a smooth side. They're both just spokes. Also playing around with the fins a bit more. I will probably use this on a future mech. Kind of a wrist shield design.
Yeah, it's
Bladed
it's
almost.
the exact same size. It fits with the same tires. But no, I forgot the old ones
So,
don't have a smooth side.
some
They're
more.
both just
And I played around with the hot dogs and the hot dog
also
with
playing around
connections.
With the fins a bit more.
And if I get some in
I will
black, I'd
probably
love to
use
use this
this
as
on a
like a
future
roll
mech.
cage.
Kind of a
Just some very fun
shield
swoopy shaping.
design. Bladed.
That's all you really missed.
So, some more. And I played around with the hot dogs.
Yeah, it's fun to
And hot dog
continue with those because
And
previous
I get some
iterations I
black.
had of something similar. Was I was going to have this for background detail on a building.
That's all you really missed.
Kind of get swoopy shape. My hands. Swoopy shape going with the hot dogs and their weird little
Yeah, it's fun
pin
to
connection,
continue-
but
continue with
this
those
is much
'cause,
cleaner, much better.
Previous iterations I had
So.
of something similar.
I'm really excited when those
Gonna
start
have
populating
this
a bit
for
more,
background detail.
especially in black, so I have some black ones. The red doesn't quite cut it right now.
Swoopy shape going with the hot dog. And their
All right,
weird little
let's
pin
try
connection, but this is much cleaner.
Something a little different.
So I'm really excited when those start populating a bit more, especially in black.
Oh,
so I
this
have
is
some
awkward.
black
Hold on.
ones. The red doesn't quite cut it right now.
Shasha, there we go. Oh, the voice is echoing. I wasn't certain, but I couldn't tell for a while. Yeah, that'd be the Instagram stuff janking out. So let me get out of that. Now the echo should be gone. Yeah, this is just me showing off a studio model, but the concept of how I can use Studio on the stream and properly showcase and more than likely probably work on things in Studio. So this is just an older build. I think I posted on Instagram. I can't remember. I've had instructions built for probably a couple years now. I just need to, the sale's phenomenal, thank you. Yeah, I've had instructions built for a couple years now and haven't had the time or real reason to post them yet. I was gonna do it with the launch of other things going on, but timing didn't quite work out. I had a 3D animator who was gonna animate it for me, but he's been quite busy, so nothing's happened in way too long. But yeah, this model has been sitting around ready to go for a while. Let's see. Let's do this. Yeah, the internal cabin. But yeah, this is a bit of an older mock of mine. I feel like I need to revisit it to make it stronger, but at the same time, like I said, I already have the instructions done. So I feel like, oh yeah, that's the bubble bath. Yeah, I've had the instructions done for so long that I don't quite have the motivation to rework the whole design. This bottom curve of the boat can be a bit frail on the physical design. And then there's probably some unpreferable design curves on the front that aren't too standard people would want for security. Definitely a lot going on just to get all the different angles in there. But yeah, it's things like this that are just single stud connections. Also, I can now update it. I think I have the pieces somewhere. They finally released this piece in tan, so I need to update it on the physical model. I don't think this version will ever be updated, because like I said, the instructions are done. Be a pain. I'm sure this piece is actually now in tan too. No, it's a dish. Can't remember if that's been recently done in tan. Anyways, yeah, this was just to showcase that Studio is a great thing we'll probably start doing in streams. Have you built it all in Studio from scratch, or is the model something you made by hand then made in Studio? This one for certain was built by scratch first, and then I had to deconstruct it in a way that I kept track of things and reverse engineered it in Studio because it's so big and awkward to build. For a lot of my builds, it'll just come down to what it is. So definitely larger builds, I will start building physically and then pivot to recreating it in Studio to see what parts I can work with that I don't have on hand. And then it helps me figure out what I need to order. So like I think there actually was one part of this that was done in Studio first, then built physically, which was that sail that you liked so much. I was able to do just kind of a flat, straight on look on it, kind of carve out the shaping and add the colors where I wanted to, and then do that from the side too. And then from there I was able to figure out what pieces and what colors I needed while still having the full connection. Have I tried making instructions? Yes. Like I was saying, for this one, I do make quite a few instructions. This was the hardest instructions I've ever made because this is a 3,000 plus piece model. And the instructions to prevent things from lagging and crashing had to be split up into 3 booklets. I'm not sure how well it's going to look on here, but we can take a quick peek. It probably will bug out too because certain updates will change things. But we will see, as we always do. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I had this fully fleshed out. It is 471 pages. But I've been doing instructions for a while, so I figured out some of the tips and tricks myself. Studio doesn't give you every single option in the Lego instruction making portfolio, so you got to figure out little things here and there that can help work around it. I'm going to look for some examples in here. I should probably pull up my clock tower MOC. That one has instructions where I was constantly doing little tricks. How do you add the steps on the same page when you put it in the on the model? Multiple steps on one page, or also these. So for these, I'll go to this one. Unlock page. So this is where you will take a bunch of, these little yellow boxes. You take a group of steps. They are already connected via what's called a submodel. And then you'll be able to hit a button, I believe it's usually up here, where it switches it to this call out mode. And then from there you can mess with the call out. It'll add these arrows, this ×2, so there's multiple. Things like that. A little difficult to show on this model since I've already done it. Oh, here, convert back to steps. So because it's the same brick all 3 times, that is the step. But then you can select this. Where is it? Yeah. Select this and then convert to call out. And it'll switch it to this bubble. And then you can reposition it, put the arrows in the right spot, move the ×2, you can shrink it with the options. So there's all that. Studio already has things like this flip sign. You can add arrows at any point. Oh, here's a better one. So normally it would look like this in the steps. So yeah, it's 3 different pages. But selecting it and then converting it to call out, we'll put it in one little thing. Yeah, you didn't know that was a little feature. Yeah, it's super handy. You definitely want to do that as much as you can because it'll reduce the amount of pages, and you don't need someone flipping through all the pages just to do this quick little thing. It just streamlines everything, especially if you're doing like small multiples like this where you know there's 2 of them. They're just already right there. All right, it's gonna get echoey for just a moment.
That was a little feature. Yeah, it's
Just wanted to check
super
something
handy.
on
You definitely.
Instagram half. Okay. Should be out of the echo. I'm trying to find some of my tricks though. I don't think there's as many in this one. You've been making many million-page long instructions like a dummy. Yeah, there's that. You might already know this one, which is just up here, the changed layout. You can just make multiple pages on a thing. Definitely good for as an alternative for the submodels. Just to keep in mind, you want to do it from the first page, and it will do that the pages moving forward. So if I did from this page and I did 6, it would start overlapping down to here, different things. So you got to count out, make sure you got the right thing. Another thing, if you want some weird, like additional length to certain pages, or make them different sizes, what I do is I add the blank pages I want to. So now I can go to this first one, change layout. Now normally we had 4 there, but I can now do 6 with the 2 blank pages. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Sometimes it'll let you get that extra gap, so you can make like this one twice as big, the next one, another one twice as big, and then the next one. But it's also a free program, very jank, and it did not do that this time. I might need to, I think it's from here. New page at the end, and that might do it. I know I've done it before. Yeah, so now I have this large gap at the bottom. It is awkwardly still leaving those 2 pages that you'll want to go back and delete. But now I could have 3 smaller steps and then a larger step at the base. Where is it? There it is. Stretch that out. Now I have more space for this last step. Okay, you definitely didn't research enough. You were just kind of figuring out as you went along. Yeah, that was a lot of what I had to do too. But I've just been doing this for too many years now that, yeah, I've eventually figured out all this stuff. It's good just to play around with seeing what all the buttons do. Oh, here's one of my funky examples. So I believe this is just adding an extra step and then showcasing a different camera angle. That way people know where to position stuff just right. I probably should have also put an arrow here. This is just showing that you want to connect this part of the plate to this stud right here. You started it half a year ago. Yeah, that's still pretty recent. I was nowhere near this far with my own stuff half a year in, so yeah. It's a lot to learn. This is the basic way to do it inside the program. There are times where I want to get better camera angles than this, and what I will do is I will initiate the secondary camera mode, or the secondary camera angle I want to do first, get everything lined up just right, screenshot that, crop it, and then I'll put that on one side of the page and then reset the camera angle to the default position. So that way I can show 2 things. This one worked out because one step is the finished model and the other step is it being placed. But not every time you can do that, so just saving a screenshot is a great way. I've also learned things like to show positioning. I found this out that at least 1 or 2 Technic sets did this a while back, where they will use like a little dot for lining things up. So I did it on this step, so that way it's like, okay, this is where the short plate is, and then when you get to the next step where you flip it, it's now over there. That way you can always line things up just right. And then, yeah, placing it on the MOC, you know that the short plate goes in the front. I'm giving you a little lesson on Studio now. This is fun. Let's see. I need to like set up a live stream seminar at some point. Do this for anyone that wants like a quick rundown and then breaking it down. Camera angles of your friends. This is just placement of plates, so it's all flat. You would attend studio classes. Well, I could, but like there's someone could, but there's only so much you could teach. You could probably knock it all out in just a couple hours. Arrows are already in there. It's best to explain as much as you can visually, because you don't know who's going to be looking at the instructions. So these are just arrows pointing, but hopefully people understand that these are here because these are the pressure points where you want to apply pressure. That's typically what I use some of these arrows for. I try to stay consistent across my instructions too. So if someone does look at multiple. Or like this, yeah, you can't see that the studs are up there, so I put the studs down there, but again, that's up to interpretation, so kind of just going on a hope there that it's clear enough. Oh yeah, 3 pressure points there. Yeah, this one doesn't have as many good examples of the weirder tricks. But yeah, something like this, you'd want to condense down. It's just such simple builds. Just merge it all together on one page. Yeah, the green dot is a funky way, but I feel like it's a way to convey it. Without words, I'm not sure what else I could do to showcase that. And I mean, it's something. It's better than nothing. Here's another trick. So this was actually with a render from Studio. So I can get everything lined up just right. I just want it to be flat so that way you can see that, well, I could have one out here and one in here. Because otherwise the Studio is just going to be the finished step, or the instructions are just going to be the finished step. So you can't show like movement or doing something. This is another one that's like up to interpretation. It's supposed to show that please put this piece in here and then take it out, just to show that that's the spacing of the bar. And then that gets this whole thing lined up just right so it fits inside the build. It's little things like that. Yeah, it's just very difficult to explain to someone else without words. Oh, and then, yeah, there's the bubble bath. You just put all those in there. I know Lego sets have done that before. Like I believe the ship in the bottle, it just tells you to pour in like several hundred of the little dots. Very weird way to show spacing, yeah. But it had such weird spacing, so how do you explain? This is definitely a part I'd want to rework if I ever do this MOC again, is that this connection point for the mast is unique because it's just the parts that are available. And it makes for not the most stable thing. I mean, it's stable on the physical thing, but trying to put this together is a little rough because it kind of sandwiches the snot brackets on opposite sides. And if you don't put the pressure in just the right spot, it'll probably just crumble under your hand. But then once it's built, it's super strong. No, Twitch has been crashing out. I saw it this time. It's right as it hit the 2-hour marker. It didn't want to work again. So I don't know if the first one was 2 hours, but I will have to take a look. Also kind of a bummer because Twitch has like a little in-system achievement. It's like, oh, stream 4 hours. Well, now it's broken it up a couple times and it won't do that, but I'm not sure why it's doing that. I might have to fiddle with some settings, but yeah, sorry about that. What I was trying to explain was you'll even want to do submodels like this where you have several pages condensed down and then you even have the bubble inside that. It's just something so simple and small that there's no reason for it to have a whole page to itself. And this is all just like one little piece at a time, so yeah. Play around with it. It's there's a lot you can learn from, LEGO instructions themselves. You just look around. Like I said, I haven't been building sets for years, so I honestly just like downloaded some sets that looked semi-interesting and tried to look for anything out of the box. Like I said, that Technic set, I found the instructions had the dots to line up where the gears go, so I used that in this regard for other things. And then same with just trying to provide extra camera angles so people know where to line things up, stud connection wise. Let's see. One thing that I don't have the resources and time to do is test the instructions. Like, I try to make these as logical as possible and flow in a good way, but just building them off the instructions, I'm not certain if certain things are correct or are easy to put together. For example, I don't know if putting the sails together this way is something that's not too difficult for people, but again, I didn't take it apart and rebuild it via the instructions to test out. I guess I could have, because this one's a little easier to do and it's submodel, but yeah, testing instructions is definitely something that would be super useful. The instructions reveal the techniques, and I instantly have way more respect for this model than I did at first glance. This is so cool. Looks so simple, but it's definitely not. Yes. And that's one thing I hope most people get out of these kind of instructions, is not so much to build the model, but to learn the techniques. And that's why I always try to keep all my instructions free. I don't want to gatekeep knowledge. I want us all to grow better as builders and inspire each other to do more. Oh, I did use some. I did use some text for certain things. Because I'm certain if you flip the build over, it would definitely explode somewhere. Yeah, here's another example. That's where I did double camera angle. Because the main image does a good job showing where it's going to be at the end. But this screenshot, I was able to pull it apart, take a picture, and then move it onto this. And just so you know how to do that one, there is insert up here, and you just add an image. And then I guess for this one, I added a black box behind it, so it had a border. Very handy. I would expect it to be at any scale. You can also add the size guide. That was in the insert option too. Just reach back if you ever want feedback in future instructions. This looks so cool though. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Maybe not instructions, but I've been curious if I could find somebody for feedback, criticism, and just some checks for the flowing of the how they were built posts I do, because there's a lot of writing that goes into that, and I'm not always certain if my writing comes out cohesive. But also the positioning of the photos and whatnot. That's another thing I need to get back to working on. I started the Inktober one to get behind the scenes on that, but I have been, since I started streaming, I took a little break. Again, that's another thing I can do on screen. Right now, I'm just kind of showing you the instructions. Hopefully, I'll actually just start doing work on one of these screens. But I do see we're at near the end, so I probably won't start anything up just yet. Here's another thing. This was done in the studio model just to show the play function, or the functions, that you can lift that part out of the way so you can get better clearance inside. So yeah, this is definitely a lot of extra work, because this is a standard render of it. This is me taking the model and moving everything individually and then rendering it. And then on top of all that, editing it so that they're in this spot, and the arrows were just some icons I saved up. You'd love to give feedback. Absolutely. I might hit you up on that offer and start sending you previews of some of my post stuff. Here's another one. Yeah, just renders. Did it one with all of them separate and one with it by itself. This was to showcase that you can transform it back and forth between the mechanized version and the boat itself. Very clean renders. Thank you. That is actually just using the in-app render system. I would need to go back and play around with it more. There's a lot of things you can do with lighting to make it look even more realistic, or give it more dramatic lighting. I also don't know how to do it like, I believe Studman and Fluzzle, they both do renders all the time, and they do some really cool lighting tricks for things that are supposed to glow. I just do a lot of basic rendering. That's another thing that it took me a long time to figure out to get things just right. I always make sure to leave like dust and scratches on to make it look as realistic as possible. But there's still an uncanniness to some of my renders. And then here's something that Studio just bugs out sometimes. So this was definitely complete, and all of this were pages upon pages of the parts list. And for some reason, reloading this file, it has now moved everything to one page. Very messy. That's why, like, once you do have your instructions sorted out and ready to go, do an export to PDF just so it saves properly. Because there's a good chance when you come back to these, something's going to be off and weird. It looks like something that fits into One Piece universe. It really does. It really does. This is actually from a video game called Shantae. I believe this boat appeared in roughly the, what would that be, 2007 game? The original one was 2001. I don't think it was in that one. But yeah, the first appearance was the boat with the legs and such. And then it reappeared in a later game, but it was just the boat. So I made sure to give people that option. But yeah, Studio will bug out. Make sure to save a PDF. And then sometimes I have extra space at the end of my instructions, so I do things like this. Add a little extra. That's just a mosaic made in Studio using the insert photo make mosaic program, whatever. So that it took very little effort, just some color corrections. But yeah, like the parts list would only go up to about here halfway through this page, so I was like, I might as well fill it up. Do things like that. I also haven't been watermarking as much as I'd like to, but I don't know. It seems like even if you watermark, people will still try to steal ideas or designs. But yeah, like the parts list would only go up. Yeah, I know a good buddy of mine that I meet up every once in a while, maybe once a year or so. He's an excellent builder, Zane Builds, and I've seen his builds being stolen, instructions stolen, and then sold as third-party products, toys, building sets. So I mean, it's just a hard thing to avoid, even if you watermark. Yeah, it just really sucks. That's why, like, I saw one of those companies followed me, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I might let it be. So I messaged him and I asked, because I saw they had his product too, and I'm like, did they ever talk to you or credit you or anything for this? And he said no. So I'm like, okay, I'm blocking them immediately. So yeah, I usually look into any person that follows me on Instagram, and it's a bit weird, but like, I just want to make sure they're legit, and if they have any cool things to show off. But yeah, there's I pulled it out. Let me see if I can go find it. Need some space. I pulled out one of my older MOCs because I never inputted it into Studio. Let's see what else I have set up. Oh. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to leave it on this camera mode because the audio is not set up on the other one. That's my bad. Miles being stolen is really sad. Yeah, there's really not much you can do about it because even if you do watermark, they can easily just cover it up or edit it out, etc. Unless you have like those really fancy watermarks that kind of transparently smear across the whole thing. But the problem with that is then you're not really showing off your art like you want to. So it really sucks no matter what. But yeah, definitely one of the things I want to do. I thought we might get around to it today, but we're kind of at the tail end, so I'll just kind of show it off. This is a MOC that I built several years ago, and I never inputted it into Studio. I would like to do that, and then through that, I would like to figure out how to make it better. This, because it's a bit on the frail side, pretty much like all my other builds. Let me actually just switch off at Studio for now. Get a better camera. There we go. Yeah, so I'd like to import this to Studio, reverse engineer and import this to Studio, and then from there try to figure out how to make it a lot more sturdy and use a lot better techniques, because there is a very weird snot sandwich in here that all the studs face up, down, left, and right to do all the different shaping on this. And because of that, it does there's some weird math in there that doesn't, it works, it's just not convenient to build. So if I could redesign that so it's a little stronger. One of the biggest weaknesses is that you do have to hold it from 2 spots, otherwise the neck will break off. Let me see if I can even get it out of here. Move it around a bit so you can get a view. If I remember where to grab it. There we go. Oh, starting to crack there. It's so big. Does it have an interior? It does. I'll put it back in the box in a moment to show off that. I don't think I ever posted this one on Instagram. It's on my Flickr. This is my interpretation of a Renegade remake, what was normally Blacktron. But I made it Lighttron Renegade. I can even see the fronts popping open. The front panel, I believe, is 9-sided. It's a weird number, and the original math isn't great. There's a walkway here, which just has a battery box in it for now. So I did add lights for a bit. And then if I can do it while it's in the box, I have a gear system in the back that opens the bay doors. Looks like it's getting stuck on something. So it's got a big bay here that I can fit cargo. I made little triangular cargo pods. These I have free instructions online for. It just uses the Nexonite's shield holders. Would a Technic beam stud connection work? Yes. Technic beam would work great. I just didn't have much Technic when I built this. I still don't have a lot, but I definitely want to rework it. Technic would, I could give it a whole Technic core and it'd be super strong that way. Also, when redesigning it, I will probably remove this hallway because that's what makes the neck so frail, is that it's just an outer shell for the most part. And then there's a little bit of room up here, but I didn't make it accessible or put anything on the inside of it. So there's definitely a lot of rework I could do. And that's kind of the idea, is that, yeah, I put this one into Studio so I have a backup and then start going crazy redesigning. What is meant to come off? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're saying, technically. But yeah, definitely a Technic core would make this so much better. I also hope this thing doesn't still have batteries in it, because if so, then they're super corroded. Okay, no, it's hollow. I added a couple lights retroactively. I think it's just one black light in the cargo bay so that it shines through the trans orange. And then there's like one light in the cabin. Oh, looks like it's just kind of, clips are coming apart. The fragile front. Yeah, if I just did a Technic core through the middle of that, got rid of the internals. Or maybe build a Technic core that kind of acts as a outer, or like a skeleton, and then put the shell on it and still have it be hollow. Mayhaps. It's really just this spot right here where that whole chunk connects into the main base. Yeah, it's really hard to showcase. Also, super conveniently, while building this MOC, I was really struggling with this corner and figuring out how to fill it out. And near the tail end of me working on the whole build, Lego released this piece a couple years ago with one of the space themes they did for Lego City. And I'm like, I'm sold. Thank you. You released the exact piece I needed. Every old MOC we made has things we could change. Oh, even modern MOCs, I have things I could change. Nothing is ever satisfactory for me. There's always something that could be improved upon. But definitely, yeah, older MOCs, absolutely. That's why I was really happy earlier this year, I think back in February, I redesigned one of my old Exoforce MOCs. And that's kind of what kickstarted me getting into Exoforce, or getting back into Exoforce, and now being kind of just indoctrinated into that community, as I did that revamp of my own design. I don't think the box is tall enough. I think it's putting pressure on top. I was setting things down on top of it. You just switched the ball joints with ratcheted joints. Oh, that could do it. I could do it. You have less mobility, but it'll give you plenty of strength. Alternatively, there are ways to do double ball joints, like side by side. So that, but ratcheted joints will definitely solve your issue for now. I guess I got, yeah, some drones. I take off all the landing gear. So there's that. And it does have a full underside, but I'm not going to keep trying to swing this thing around to show it off. If I do, I will show it off when we start doing some studio stuff with it. But yeah, options and options for streams. Some drones. I take off all the landing gear. A little bit of echo for a moment. And yeah, this is just a little taste. Exclusive to pretty much you two right now. I think it's just two of you. But yeah, I mean, this one's posted on my Flickr. I still mean to post it on Instagram at some point. I don't think any of my larger ships are. But this one, I never did anything studio-wise. The yellow one, I got like 60-70% done on studio and then just stopped because it was easier to build physically with how messy it is. And then same with the purple, except the purple I think I posted even less of. There's still a little all three for the big ones I've done. Just taking the arms off will be a little harder. Oh, that's fine, you don't need to take the arms off all the time. Like I said, long-term goal will be hopefully a lot more mock building on stream. So I'm hoping this will motivate me to get more stuff done. I mean, it's helping me get through these odds and ends that have just been sitting around. Sets, minifigures, etc. And experimentation is great, and it's always good to talk to somebody. So I love having you guys' opinions and input. Anything we can do. Been sitting around trying to see if there's anything else worth doing, or if it's good calling the stream here. I'll do a little bit of cleanup afterwards. Might be more question you guys what you want to see next. You want me to do straight into the studio stuff, or more set sorting, unboxing for now? Your input to most everything you make is that it's cool. Well, yeah, but I want to know what you want to do on streams. Like, I have a lot written down of what I can be doing, but if you want me to just keep sorting and chatting more, or maybe focus up and, like I said, do that digital designing. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything for my planned October builds, which I really need to dedicate time to. But I could definitely get started on the creature for December, and then maybe some Exoforce MOCs and smaller stuff that could be thrown around. You're bad at writing. No, that's all right. I'm guessing English isn't your first language. Maybe it is. From the Danish region. So far, it's been pretty clear. It's been pretty all right. You've been doing just fine.
language?
You do speak, yeah, you do speak Danish, but I was wondering if that was your. Are you taught English first, or are you taught Danish first? Because that would impact which one is your stronger suit. Yeah, I think at the moment I'm still just more comfortable mock building off stream, so hopefully I can do a lot more of this on stream for you guys. I mean, this was fun. This one was fun. It's very basic, very simple, but there's a good way to start experimenting with the parts right away. I don't think I would have built this on my own, so that's great. I'll definitely post it soon too. That, and I need to post the combo mech I just dismantled at the start. You kind of need that language to speak with others outside of the country. Yeah. If it's not English or I think Mandarin is also pretty big, just because of population-wise. English is pretty widely used. So us Americans are privileged, but we have dummy brains, so we kind of need it. Music got real awkward on me. All right. I think I'm just yapping. Just a little bit of nonsense here and there on the sides. So I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you all for joining. Oh, do I know other language than American? I'm glad you called American. We have school programs in place where you can learn other languages. And so I was in classes for Spanish. However, after 3 years, I mean, you only need to take 1 or 2 years for our curriculum. It's not really mandatory. I took 3 and then just kind of stopped. It wasn't really serving me much. We usually only have options of Spanish and French. And then my classes got to have the option of Mandarin for 2 years, and then they cut that off. So people that were learning it got cut off from their education from it, which sucks. But yeah, we were taught Spanish and French. I did a little bit of Spanish myself and have retained almost nothing. It's very important it's very nice for people that do want to learn it. And I wish we were more like other countries that would learn dual languages, because it's just very useful. And I mean, it's communication. It's the bare necessities for cooperating on this planet. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Our education system is not great in that regard. But for people that want to, they do it. They do go further with it. You were just wondering because basically you don't really need much other than English. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is we're kind of privileged in that regard. It's our primary language, but it's also one of the widest spread languages. Like, we can communicate with most of Europe, all of Australia, and then sprinkling in here and there. Like, even it's not, I think it's the most common language in South Africa, but even then it's a percentage. So it's just, yeah, it's pretty widely used. Yeah, I do wish that the American schooling system was better and actually enforced teaching other languages, but whatever. Spanish is definitely, I went Spanish because it's definitely more useful than French. There's a lot more Spanish-speaking countries than there are French-speaking countries. And aside from France proper, there's just parts of Canada, but they already speak English. So, yeah. But even Spanish speaking would definitely help American the American populi a lot better because we are so close to Mexico and we do get a lot of visitors from Mexico. A lot of Mexico does not learn English, so it would be good if America learned Spanish instead as a secondary language, of course. But that's unfortunately the separation of our countries. Better because getting a little political here. Yeah, but it's just something that's very difficult to work into our culture. American culture is very stubborn, as you could probably tell by the fact that we have the worst measurement system across the board. Measuring distance is a joke. Measuring liquids is also a joke. Weight's pretty bad. I don't think we have any measurement system that makes sense. I would love, imperials, it just makes no sense no matter what you do. I don't know, I mean, it's just hard to convert everything to metric, but if we just did it, then everything would go by so much smoother. I do my best to reference metric more often because there's more people that understand it. But if I ever mention temperature, I don't think I know how to properly convert that. The best I can say is that I know 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, imperial's random. Our measurements, you start off with inch, and then there are 12 inches in a foot. There are 3 foot in a yard, which is nearly a meter. And then you go back a bit, and it's like 252, 256 feet in a mile. But if you want to go the other direction, from inch, you go to fractions. So it goes to half, quarter, eighth, 16th. Yeah, how do we remember this? It's just what we're taught. It's nonsense, though. It really is nonsense, because the metric system, you have a centimeter, and then there's 100 centimeters in a meter, and then there's 100 meters in a mile, or a kilometer, sorry, jeez. It's just easy, it's all multiples of hundreds and tens. Or liquids, you have, the most common one for us is gallons, that's pretty much all anyone really pays attention to. And then there's 4 quarts in a gallon, and then I don't know where it goes from there even myself. It's just a mess. What other silly ones are there? At least we're all on track for the same amount of time, because we all live on the same planet. So it only goes one way. Inches are in a yard after the 3 feet. Yeah, how many? Well, that would be, I mean, it's 3 times 12, so it'd be 36 inches in a yard. Yeah, it's nonsense. And it's like the yard is so close to being the same length as a meter, but it's not. We were so close to having something that lines up. So it's like, it's great. Like all these Lego measurements are in metric. So it's like, oh, cool, nice and easy. But when we have all these American tools that are in inches and half inches and all that stuff, nothing lines up. So like if you wanted to do a nice display span with your minifigures that has a groove that has the same width as a stud, there's no American measurement that matches that in the slightest. So you can't just woodwork it and make it yourself. No, you gotta find some imperial tools or something. Our measurement system is complete nonsense. What is it? We talked about distance, liquids, what other ones? There's a few others. Oh, weight. Weight's not too bad, but it's still just, I don't know. It's everyone mostly just goes off pounds, and that's good enough. At least our monetary system isn't terrible. We just have 100 decimals, and then we just go whole numbers. So that could have been a lot worse, but it's not. Yeah, pounds, and then we go to ounces. I think it's I'd like to say it's 16 ounces in a pound. Now I'm sounding like a dumb American, but that's our education system, honestly. Ounces are used pretty well too. But again, it's a weird measurement of like 16. It's not even like, I don't know. It hurts my head thinking about it sometimes. I feel like there's one other measurement I'm just not quite thinking of. But this has been a fun conversation, just because there's so much to dislike about America. I know it sounds unpatriotic of me, but it's just like we made a lot of dumb decisions, and now every generation's just kind of living with it. What do you do? What do you do? I'm surprised we don't like deal with nautical miles and knots, you know? The voting process. It's hit or miss for the American political system. I don't want to get too political, but it really is hit or miss because of there's so much that can go wrong with, like, you can have a vast majority vote, but then the weighted votes of the higher political powers can outweigh you, and then your votes almost meaningless. There's still a say in it, but there's also a lot of we narrow it down to 2 people. Well, my political party leader didn't make it to the finale, so I'm going to just vote for the other person or not vote at all. And it's such a division too. That's my simplified take on it. I'm not super political. It's just there's a lot of things in America that's a disaster, especially right now. My current stance, we're not doing great. I don't know how Trump got back into presidency. And since his recent election, nothing good has happened. But hey, I will cut it off there because I don't want ICE to come after me or some dumb bullshit that's going on right now. Yeah. Other than that, I'm really happy to see Weird Al still doing some cool stuff. Topic change. Weird Al still being very energetic. He's doing a tour right now. I know he did a little bit of a crossover on one of the night shows with, I forget his name all the time, but the guy that wrote Hamilton. So that. That's a little bit of a positive note to end on instead. Yeah, you're curious. I'm okay talking about it a little bit, just to inform you. But yeah, America's quite the shit show. As many fun things as we have, and the many things we have in our accessibility, there's just so many problems. There's so many problems. I just don't need to talk about it too much. Also, because I am part of the majority. I am not a minority. I am a basic bitch white male. So that comes with a lot of perks that's unfair. And I always feel bad for anyone that is being unjustly treated, because they are not. And that's just kind of our country, and we're still kind of rolling back on all our progressiveness. So I need to stop. I keep getting back into it. Yeah, to make matters worse, straight white male. I hit all the check marks of being safe. which is unfair. Yeah. But yeah, here we are chatting. We got Lego. We got Lego. We got Lego to keep us happy. We got Lego. It's okay. And hopefully we'll have more fun Lego stuff. I'm definitely going to pivot more towards the Sunday streams, at least for now. They will be the longer ones. They will be more of the meat of the interactivity. I will still try to keep doing Thursday to see how those roll. But it really is hard hitting all those marks of the different time zones. Exactly. Divided by nations, united by ABS plastic. That's why I love. I'll probably mention this way too much, and I'm sorry for you because you may or may never be able to make it. Brick World Chicago is always a treat because there's so many people internationally that visit, and it's nice to see. No matter what your political stance is, no matter what your skin color is or your gender, sexualization, etc., we all come together because we love this stupid little toy. It just makes you smile. And like, even I hate a lot of things Lego does, but I still love Lego. One day you're gonna come. I hope so, and I hope that I can one day make it over to Sarebec. I don't know if that's the main one you were talking about before, but I know that one is widely known, even here in the States, as one of the greatest Lego conventions of all. It's kind of a flip coin for American Lego shows. We get into the glamour of it all and we have awards, which is good and bad. It keeps me motivated, but it's also negative because then there is jealousy and envy and rage of people not getting it. But there is definitely the pleasantries of just going to a Lego show and not having awards and just being chill. just being there for the people and the seeing other builds. Yes, yeah. Do what you need to do through school and financials. Traveling overseas is not cheap, not affordable. Even some flights within the States is not cheap to us. But I also always worry about traveling overseas, trying to move a MOC through that. I've heard some of the stories of trying to move it through the air travel, and it can be quite messy. I also wouldn't be able to bring anything big. Like, my favorite MOC right now is definitely the diner, but that barely works in a car, let alone air travel. It would not be impossible. But don't ever feel pressured. Just take your time with it. Your first convention was in England. You spent 3 hours rebuilding a model when you arrived. Yeah, because that would have been air travel too. Yeah. And I always expect that going to a convention, even just driving. I expect to reconstruct a lot by the time I get there. I even posted it in how the Ballad of the Unknown was built. In that post I made, I think there's only one page of it, but there's a behind the scenes of how I moved that thing in transit. And I had to build a wooden cage over it with harnesses down, holding things up. Even with all that, it would still break, but it wouldn't completely shatter. So I could just kind of reconnect a few things, and etc. But that's a story for another time. I'm rambling. I believe I should go. Thank you all for joining. And we will hopefully have some more successful streams and more chatting. Lego Unlimited, you have been the voice that has helped carry this whole thing and been a great support. Thank you so much. And also thank you to, where are you, PG, for stopping by. And I think that about wraps things up. Until next time, safe travels, have a great evening, or morning, or time day, and goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye. There it is. Bye. Goodbye.